pain. The rat full screen.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 35th episode of Screaming into the Void. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and this is, the channel Samuel the Infamous. With me today are my co-hosts, Kat, Senior Officer of the Corpus. How you doing?
All is well in the Corpus. Thankfully, we have Velma to use for target practice, as well
Jesus.
as the cast of Rings of Power.
and
Sure.
and Ryan, Hogwarts Legacy Survivor. That is so fucked up.
Well, I can't do it while I'm actually streaming the game because I'm not like looking to piss people off. I'm going to piss enough people off just by playing the game, I'm sure, especially on Twitch because Twitch is full of weirdos. But we'll see because my main channel has a wide variety of an audience. And even though we don't talk politics, I'm going to be interested to see how some of them might react.
How many people do you usually get in a live stream when you do stream?
I don't usually stream on my main channel really at all. It's been a while.
I was gonna say I expected trouble, and I have not had anything at all. Like nobody. I expected and I've been trolled in the past over that whole Micah Curtis thing. So I expected people to, since I'm not hiding my views on Twitter, I have not had, and I'm glad. I don't want to deal with it.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't really bother me. But I think your audience probably knows what you're about mostly because you're pretty outspoken. The thing is, though, is that my main channel is just about fun. It's about video games and it's about just like entertainment as a whole. Minus the political stuff, like musical performances shit, and people want to know what my opinion on that is. So it doesn't really fall into the realm of the stuff we usually cover. So this game possibly being controversial, I don't know how. I mean, some of them might just bypass it. I don't know. But I haven't gamed in a while because gaming requires you to sit down for at least a couple hours, and like sometimes you just don't have the time.
You also have to kind of have the patience and the wherewithal to sit patiently and, play a game. And it would really help if you stop, doing all that cocaine.
Yeah.
Before we get too much further, let's say hello to the audience. I see Logical Spock here. Good to see you, buddy. Michelle, always nice to see you. Hey, Larry. Carrie is listening in. He, like I said, backstage, he's a little busy with real life stuff, but he is with us in spirit. I see UA here. Good to see you. And Zeron. Awesome. And that's who I see in the chat at the moment.
Can I say one thing? Speaking of cocaine, anybody see the new video of Zelensky where he's like he probably sniffles 30 times in 30 minutes where he's like
I mean, honestly, no, I haven't been
it's on Twitter. There's also photos of his wife before and after all that money. She got some large cans.
Well, yeah, I did see that, and I mean, honestly, that's just like skimming off the top of all that shit that was funded through.
No, I know, but she was also busted in Paris buying like $50,000 worth of clothes, and it's like, wow.
Again, that's a drop in the bucket. All that money we sent over there.
Where's the rest of it going?
Right, up Zelensky's nose, apparently. I don't know if the guy's doing cocaine or not, but
motherfucker still can't fucking put on a different shirt.
Well, he's got to look like a wartime leader. That's why he's got those Swifty looking, shoulder pads.
So gay.
Turtleneck.
So fucking gay. It's like those guys that they're like, oh man, I was hardcore in the military, and then you find out that they fucking push paper behind a desk, and like, dude, you fucking qualified with a firearm probably like once every 2 years. Shut up. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention recently that the topics on the show have kind of gotten a little dark. Like consistently darker. And while that is not always a bad thing, I think that we should probably branch out into some other subject matter, just because you know, I mean, it was never my intention to focus solely on, you know, like culture war stuff and political stuff and that kind of thing. I mean, you know, I don't have a problem talking about it, but that's kind of all we've been talking about. So I thought today we'd look at something else. The other day, Ryan, actually, you're the one who gave me this idea. So Elon Musk tweeted out about a new test that had gone very well with the rockets that they're working on, and you had said, "Can we get out of here? Because I want to leave all this behind." And my response was that you're looking at it wrong. You know, that it's not about what we leave behind; it's about what could be out there. You know, it's about this being the greatest endeavor in human history.
Oh no, yeah, I would agree. And you said it takes, careful, planning and all that stuff. And I completely agree. My whole entire shtick is that I make a joke about the fact that it's like, when you see some of the nonsense that we cover, it's like, dude, I'm like, I'm moving to the moon. I'm so tired of this crap. It's like, and so that's kind of the joke behind it. I was like, can you hurry up a little bit? Because I'm done. I'm tired of this planet.
Right. Yeah. Right. And and I get that. I do. But when I think of that sort of thing, I look, you know, out where I live, we don't have a lot of what a lot of the larger metropolitan areas in the country have, which is light pollution. Right. You can look up in the sky and it's very clear. All the stars are very clear, as long as it's not overcast. But and especially in the wintertime, because the ice crystals in the air kind of magnify the light. So the stars are bright, even in the middle of town. And so I spend a lot of time because, yeah, as you all know, I walk a lot at night looking up at the stars. It's one of my favorite pastimes, and wondering what's out there. And I've been doing that since I was a little kid. Since I was shocker, I was a Boy Scout, and astronomy was
I knew
part
you
of
were
that.
secretly gay.
Yeah,
I
well,
fucking knew it.
Army is the
Fucking
Navy's bitch. Shut up.
That's not even close to true. That's the Air Force because they used to be a part of us.
Right. So, but yeah, and it's just, I wonder what's out there. And obviously, we're all science fiction fans here. We watch things like Star Trek, Star Wars, and that sort of thing. And all of that talks about, what could possibly be out there. I mean, less so Star Wars, but
Ooh. Sorry, I just noticed something. Sorry about that. Give me a moment. I just noticed something on the Twitch end of things. I was closing Twitch, and apparently
Yeah, I was just responding to that. Glad you liked it. Thank you. I got to clown around a little bit. Because like I said, when I'm playing the game, I can't be that on the nose. So like that will cause people to be grumpy, even if they don't have an opinion.
Yeah. Caucasian Sasquatch, good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. You bring up a good point. That's true. People who are born on Mars. I mean, this is, if an astronaut born on Earth who spends too much time in orbit isn't going to be okay when he gets back here. You lose bone density and mass.
Oh yeah, muscle mass too. That's why they have to work
Yeah.
out in space. They're required to a certain amount.
Yeah.
Because your body needs that gravity. It's kind of like sitting your lazy ass on a couch. Get up and do something.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So people born on Mars are born in like, what is it, like 1/3 of Earth's gravity, something like that. And they would not be able to. They might survive on Earth, but it would not be very comfortable. It'd be very, very unpleasant.
There would be a rigorous process to where they would have to, if they were to transfer back, they would have to literally work 3 times as hard as anybody on Earth to be ready, and it would probably take months of preparation.
I would say years. I would say years, probably.
Yeah, you're probably right.
In full gear in 1G.
And you're talking about the fact that we would probably have to figure out how to even simulate Earth's gravity gradually, just so they can slowly work their way up, their bones, their muscles, and there would be a special diet and regimen. And yeah, it would artificial gravity is something that somebody says something about Event Horizon. You have to have gravity in space. Like you have to. Because simulated gravity not just is, helps you work easier. It's literally for your body. So long distance journeys in space, we have to have simulated gravity. There's just no way around it.
Right. And that's the thing. But you also have to kind of keep in mind too that those who go out are probably not coming back.
No, that's
Honestly.
it's a good point.
And so if we were to establish a colony on Mars, there's no reason for them to come back to Earth at that
I
point.
don't want to come back.
And I see this as a like I said before, the greatest endeavor in the history of humankind. And it's possible that maybe we weren't meant to do that. I mean, you got space radiation, you got micro asteroids and meteoroids, I guess they'd be, because they're not ites until they come through the atmosphere. But and there's all kinds of dangers and stuff like that. But I mean, what's life without a little risk, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see Rez in the chat says psychologically as well. Yeah, the deep void of space is literally, it houses nothing. It carries no sound. It's why you can literally, you could throw something in space and it'll never stop. It's just going to carry on. There's nothing that's going to stop it unless it runs into something else, because it is literally devoid. So.
Right.
It's one of those things that the human mind doesn't work in that way. It's also the same way you can get what's kind of like cabin fever if you're locked up too long. We found that out over the last couple of years, and people need to get out and touch grass. So it's there's a lot of challenges ahead of that. So, and I think the first step is not necessarily going to be Mars. I think there will be a small test run on the moon, and then it'll because that's the easiest place to go.
See how people respond to those circumstances on the moon.
Yeah. And then, of course, we'd have to terraform Mars itself, because obviously Mars.
Yeah, and that's going to take years.
Yeah.
That's going to take years and years.
Probably take 100 years,
or more.
Yeah. You said cockroaches. Ew.
But what's 100, 200 years in the span of human history?
Well, I mean, I'll be dead, so I guess I won't give a shit. None of us will give a shit.
Right. None of us will live to see that, obviously. But like, just in terms of, I'm looking at the scope here of human history, right? 100, 200 years to terraform it into something even remotely survivable, right? That's a hell of an accomplishment, and that's not actually that long in terms of technological advancement.
I mean, and I have to be honest too. Like the reach for the stars is also one reason, and I hate to give war any credit as well. It also pushes technology to the brink of discovery, and there's plenty of that on this planet, and also trying to reach other planets. You're gonna get different ways to advance the human body, because we are just nothing but meat bags that are pretty fucking frail, if you want my honest opinion. We're not even really necessarily equipped to live on this planet, which is really weird, because we can't survive in severe cold weather without help. We can't survive in severe hot weather without help. We're kind of like, we're only still alive because of our ingenuity, and that's it.
Sure. And the most extreme parts of our planet's obviously, like, even just in terms of like, pressure and, like you mentioned, temperature. I'm looking at like the Marianas Trench, for example.
Yeah.
Right. You get down to a certain number of atmospheres under the ocean, and even our machines don't survive.
No, they don't. If you go, what is it? I know that it's always such a fun topic. I think if you dive down to the depths of the Titanic, which is about 2.5 miles below the surface of the ocean, which we do have submarines that can go down that far. I mean, the plate glass is like that thick, like, in the porthole of the submarine, because the pressure is something like, I think it's like 3 pounds per no, like 3 tons of what is it? It's something insane. Like, they put a styrofoam cup on one of the outsides of the vehicles, and by the time they came back, like a standard styrofoam cup you'd get like a hospital or something, put coffee in, is the size of a thimble.
Yeah, that is true.
And because it so evenly crunched it down because of the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely true. Regarding what you were saying about sound not traveling through space, while that is true in the very strictest sense, energy does.
Mhm.
And we have the technology to use that energy, um, or to turn that energy into sound. This is something that my mother sent me not too long ago on YouTube, and I'll put the link in the description later for those who want to go and rewatch it. But we're going to listen to this real quick because this is sounds made by planets passing in front of the sun.
Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I'm arguing with I'm a meat popsicle about this whole thing, and they're like, no. I was like, no, I totally don't agree.
Tell him you're on a live stream.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
not worth it. Don't argue with people. I fall into that trap too. Don't do it.
He does
so
too. He picks fights with the dumbest people.
Well, I mean, the most recent one I got into was a bunch of assholes that were literally calling anybody who doesn't, they attack the bigger YouTubers, and it's like, okay, dude, like, you want to have a conversation, like, I'll talk to you guys. And then, of course, one dude blocked me. He's like, well, you're being kind of a piece of shit on Twitter. We'll usually talk to anybody, but if you're gonna be a piece of shit, I'm like, dudes, you're the one who you're the one who posted a stupid article like, if you've ever been affected by the fandom menace, and yes, we would fall into that category because we don't like woke crap, they'd be like, please send us your stories here at this email. It's like, so we can talk to you about it. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you called Eric July a racist. He's black. Are you high?
I mean,
But
you could be a racist.
that was the other guy. But it's like, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, you what? You got a problem with Miles Morales because he's black? And he's like, dude, I'm black. What the hell is your problem? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he July could be racist. I don't know the guy. I don't think he is, but he could be. The fact that people when they
I mean,
say black people can't be racist, that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, black people, everybody can be racist, but the whole entire point was that they were saying that he didn't like Miles Morales because he's black, and he's like, well, I don't like Tolkien.
He calls him Peter Darker.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like Tolkien characters. He's like, they made Miles Morales just to be half black, half Hispanic, and that's it. It's a derivative character, and I see where he's coming from.
See, he's absolutely right about that. We'll continue with the video in just a second, but he's absolutely right about that. He is 100% derivative of Peter Parker. There's nothing original about the guy, except he has a couple of abilities that were stolen from Spider-Woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
who's completely unrelated to Peter Parker in both origin and blood. So
yeah. So that anyway, that was I try not to get in arguments, but sometimes it doesn't happen. It's just not worth it. Not gonna change these idiots' minds. But back to the video.
I know I'm a meat popsicle. He seems okay. I don't know. Anyway.
So what you're hearing here is they're translating the interruption in the various waveforms coming from the sun into piano notes, and then later percussion.
Okay. Did you share this? Did you share the sound?
I'm not hearing any sound.
Oh, you're not hearing sound. Is everybody not hearing sound? All right, we'll try this one more time. I could have sworn I did share the sound. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Should be able to hear it any second now. You getting sound?
Oh, no.
Huh.
Cat.
Weird.
Do you hear anything, Cat?
No, I'm not hearing any sound either.
Send me the video in our chat. I'll pull it up.
I will. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. One
boomer.
Moment. Yeah, well, I'm old. I'm not actually a boomer. Neither is Gary, for that matter. He says he is, but he's not.
I don't know, dude. I kind of think he is.
Well, he's not. He's an older millennial. or not an older millennial, an older Gen Xer, but he's not a boomer.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, it's just that phrase that anybody like funks stuff up is like a boomer.
Yeah, I think I just sent it to the FNR chat.
Did you?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's all right. They'll get a kick out of it. So, but yeah, no, it was something that I thought was pretty neat that my mother sent me. I figured I'd share it with all of you today, and apparently I have to share it through Ryan because I'm an idiot.
Are you sure? Yeah, there it is. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That was fucking Twitter wasn't wanting to update. What the fuck, Twitter? I tell you what, Twitter has been it's been hit or miss lately. Well,
Yeah, well, you know what that is.
That's playing through my fucking ears. That's why it started playing when I didn't hit the button. I hate that autoplay crap. Okay, here you go.
All right.
Let's do it. I'll tell you what, that's wild.
Isn't it? And,
Yeah,
and all that is caused by is it plays a note for every time the planet passes in front of the sun and creates kind of a distortion in the radio waves and the light waves and radiation that comes from the sun.
Do you want me to finish? Because we still have like what, another minute, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
it's pretty neat.
Okay.
And you've got polar eruptions. Maybe not polar.
I didn't count, but was Pluto on there? Because I still consider it a planet. Neil deGrasse Tyson, that punk bitch.
I agree. I agree that Pluto is a planet. Pluto is bigger than Mercury, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But
like it was just one of.
I don't know. I didn't actually count the number of bodies that were circling. I think that they did start out from pretty far out and moved inwards. So it's like obviously Mercury would be the fastest one.
Yeah, it's like well, also at the same time, it's like Pluto's an escaped moon with a moon. So a moon escaped with another moon attached to it. It's like what you're. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
it's never made any sense to me.
It doesn't. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like our moon is bigger than Mercury, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, marginal, but it is.
Yeah. So it's just like, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, it just saying that it was an escaped moon from Neptune, that would mean that one had to escape and took another smaller one with it, and then began on an oblong, longer orbit. I mean, it's just an easy possibility because it's so far out that it got tilted on a different axis. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's possible that Pluto was, and I think this was a prevailing theory for a while. I'm not sure if it still is or not. That it was a foreign object that was captured by the mass of our system.
Oh, absolutely. I would not be surprised. Not one bit.
And they're still like they have never totally disproven the theory of Planet X. Now they don't think there's another planet beyond Pluto, but there is something out there that's got its own mass that is also orbiting a 10th body.
Yeah, I remember they were like if they had to include Pluto as a planet, they would have to include at least one, maybe more other objects as planets.
Yeah. But these are the same guys who are saying that the Brontosaurus isn't the thing. Fuck them. I grew up with Brontosaurus, and we all knew that it was just another name for the Apatosaurus.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Oh, Brontosaurus was a lie, but the Apatosaurus was." I was just saying, it's the same thing. They're like, "No, they put the wrong skull in the wrong thing." I was like, "No, but it's the same thing."
Well, these are the kind of the same. I know they're not in the same fields, obviously, but like the same assholes are like, well, Tyrannosaurus was a scavenger. It wasn't.
No,
It wasn't a hunter. I'm like, it
Yeah.
has the largest bite. It has the largest pressure bite of any land mammal in history.
Yeah,
The
if it was just a
fuck are you
scavenger, it doesn't need that kind of pressure.
No, like it would need more like serrated jaws to kind of like just yank the meat off. But you're talking about crunching fucking bone. Like fuck out of here. Yeah, that really bothered me in the Jurassic Park franchise. That bullshit they pulled in 3, like, because they're like, well, it's scavenger, and I'm like, no, fuck, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
This is a
course.
great question from Rez here. What spacefaring universe would you want to live in? I think I know Kat's answer.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
So, what spacefaring universe would you want to live in?
Destiny, because then I would be an immortal super soldier. As much as I love the Corpus, I would not be an immortal super soldier among the Corpus. I would love. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Corpus. Corpus are based. Corpus are anti-woke as possible. But Destiny would make me an immortal super soldier that could go off and kill anything.
Number 1 for me would be Star Wars because I would want to be a Jedi. Number 2 would be the Mass Effect universe, Mass Effect trilogy, not Andromeda, that piece of shit.
Am I the only person who played Andromeda and didn't really have an issue with it?
Okay, I have issues with it because it was such a buggy mess. Look, I understand that like games are going to be buggy. I play Bethesda games, so I mean I get it. It just I think what bothered me most is that the story was just and quite frankly, it's like, how do you come off the Mass Effect trilogy? I know a lot of people are like, oh, the third game was a piece of shit. It sucked, that ending. And it's like going, okay, well, it was fine. You don't have to like the ending of it. I mean, but it did have a solid ending to it. No matter. Now, I understand where people are like, the lack of decisions, crap like that. But it's like, I don't know. I had a hard time feeling like that was any kind of anything that was special, related to Mass Effect. It was just felt kind of cheap, but that's just me. I mean, I could probably replay it now in some of the crap ass games that we've got, like The Last of Us 2 and shit. I'd probably like it more. So,
yeah. So I did. I mean, there were obviously a few things about it that I was just like, okay. But I also played Andromeda before I was fully aware of, how far the intersectional crap had gotten into gaming. Because I didn't pay any attention to Gamergate. I didn't find out about Gamergate until like, I don't know, it was like 2018.
Yeah, I didn't find out about it
because I didn't run in those circles. I don't read a lot of reviews. I see a thing that looks interesting and I play it. But the only gamers up until that point that I had even talked to were gamers that I knew personally, and they were more or less the same as me. They played things they liked. They didn't really read reviews, so we didn't hear anything about that until later. And there were a few things that were a little bit off, but it wasn't anything that detracted so much from it that that I didn't enjoy the game in general. My biggest complaint with it actually had to do with the fact that not all of the species from the original trilogy were represented. Like I was wondering what the hell happened with the Quarians, for example. I mean, I know that's kind of a plot point, but at the same time, I was just like, where the hell are the Quarians?
I might replay it and then kind of like replay it live and then review it and kind of take it from there, because like I said, rewatching the Hobbit trilogy after Rings of Power was like a fucking breath of fresh air. It's like a starving and and man dying of dehydration in the fucking desert. So, and it's like a lot of people, like even with like the prequel trilogies of Star Wars, they go back and they're like, oh, it's pretty good now. It's like,
No, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I am absolutely gonna disagree with you on that. They still suck. They just don't suck as much as a sequel trilogy.
Well, that makes them better now, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Shifts the goalpost.
It really doesn't. See, as it turns out, there are previously unplumbed depths of suck.
I think we've moved past the.
We did. I haven't answered the question myself either. If I had to pick a specific spacefaring universe to live in, there are a lot that I really enjoy, but in terms of like quality of life, most of them are not as ideal as as you would think. Like I like the Expanse, but life is fucking hard and death is swift. It's Game of Thrones in space. I like Firefly, but I really don't want to get shot by a reaver. Because they don't shoot to kill, because they like you to be alive when they eat you.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I'm not. I guess if I had to pick one, I would say original series Star Trek.
All right.
Pre all the Kelvin bullshit that J.J. Abrams did. But yeah, not even necessarily original series. I was thinking probably closer to the time of the Undiscovered Country. When peace is forced because Praxis between the Klingons and the Federation because of the Praxis disaster.
Well, I mean, it kind of leads to what Jetstream said in the chat. Why every space game got to be in war? Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's just
it's human nature.
Yeah, that's part of it, and you have to kind of attribute human nature to most species. Also, they just want to survive, and anything unknown, is going to be. You could probably take a civilization that, say, hypothetically is a million years older than us and far more advanced, and they've managed to make it this long and not kill themselves. There was still a period where they were literally killing themselves. Like they had their versions of world wars and nuclear bombs and crap like that. And it's just it's going to be, every species is going to have the same problems that we do. We're not unique,
Yeah.
But
well, that's yes. From a human perspective, we're talking about IPs that with alien civilizations that were created by humans who, like the very concept of the word alien means foreign to us. Like we can't understand the truly alien any more than they would be able to understand us.
Well, we actually kind of can, because we have alien species technically on this planet, because even though we're made up of the same four amino acids, our DNA, I can't mate with a female lion and expect to get a human lion hybrid. It just doesn't work.
Those are still terrestrial species, though.
They're still terrestrial species, but they're gonna survive in a very different way than we do. And the depths of the sea are going to be different than how a lion survives, and that's the easiest way to probably study what would be considered foreign life on another planet.
Yeah, well, I'm going to throw some out here. Ozzy here in chat sometimes brings up references to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Right now, if we're talking about a truly alien civilization, what would that even look like? How would we know? What if the aliens in question are, to reference Douglas's seminal work, a sentient shade of the color blue?
Yes. I didn't think of it that way when I said it, but okay, there you go. Thundercats.
Ho.
No.
Thundercats ho.
Oh, I know
Thundercats rhymes a hoe.
Yeah. You don't know about Thundercats?
I know what I never watched it, but I know what Thundercats is. They destroyed it, didn't they? Recently, they made some stupid Yikip.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it, but it looked like
I didn't watch that either.
Pile of assholes.
Yeah, but it used to not suck, and the old series still doesn't suck.
Yeah, no, the one from the fucking 80s. Yeah, no, doesn't suck.
Raw.
If it's from the 80s, most likely it doesn't suck, and if it did suck in the 80s, most likely it's drastically better than anything today.
Yeah, if it sucked in the 80s, though, it still sucks today.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's different levels of suck because
It-
we're
it-
so. It's
yeah.
so everything sucks so bad now that it's like, hey, that was actually pretty good.
I think yeah, there was another one that was on, I want to say Netflix or Cartoon Network, maybe, that
I
they
think so. Yeah.
redid more recently than the early 2000s. That was just fucking awful.
Yeah, that
And
was
like,
that was the one that yeah, it was like the reboot for like 2020 or something like that, or 2019. It was terrible.
yeah, so it is what it is. Hey, Bernie. So we've got all this space out there, and obviously, like, nobody in our lifetime, unless we find some way to preserve life along in the long voyages between the stars, aside from like building, say, a generation ship, which would be feasible. It'd have to be massive. You'd have to have some kind of sustainable internal lighting that simulated the radiation from the sun. You'd have to have some kind of farm, as well as the gravity, kind of thing. There was in the Expanse, there was a generation ship that was actually built by Mormons, called the Nooooo, and it's massive, but it's basically a great big drum barrel, and it spins. The only parts that don't are like at the very end where the engines are, or where the thrust engines are, and at the very top of the ship where the bridges and that sort of thing, and your essential functions there. But the rest of the ship is a massive drum that spins constantly to generate kind of a gravitational deal. And so everybody walks around on the inside of the drum. It's like 2001: A Space Odyssey, kind of how that's set up.
Yeah,
But
I mean, well,
much bigger.
it's also similar to what they did it in they did it in that Chris Pratt Jennifer Lawrence movie, Passengers.
Yeah.
Because it's the only feasible way that human beings could survive long long trips in space. Also, at the same time, though, you would also have to, if you're not going to do multiple generations where you're going to have to breed and then deal with the dead and breed and deal with the dead, you have to think about the fact that Mars is like 3.5 months trip away. And I think that's our best projections right now. So that's just getting in a space vehicle, pointing yourself that direction, staying on that course, firing the thrusters to go, and probably firing them maybe once a month or whatever, just to pick up a little speed, because you're not gonna be able to burn all that fuel. You just can't constantly. We don't have the resources for that. We don't have the technology to generate any kind of continuous propulsion. So it's not feasible. So you kind of out there coasting.
Well,
And
if you build the ship in space and you don't have to worry about like, take it up piece by piece kind of thing, build it in orbit, then you don't have to worry about escaping gravity necessarily. All you need is thrust. And you don't need continuous thrust, because in space, obviously, I mean, the way that works is like the more resistance there is to a thing, the slower it goes. But there's very little resistance in space. So you would just need really a burst at the beginning to get up to speed, and then you could cut the engines off.
well, also at the same time, you would just use the Earth gravity to help slingshot you. It's no different than what they did with Apollo 13, because they had limited resources, they had limited fuel, because the service module was damaged, and they used the moon's gravity to slingshot themselves, so they would only have to burn minimal fuel using the lunar module, which was only designed to technically land on the moon as it is. So it's not like the lunar module was designed to keep firing its thrusters out in space. It just wasn't designed for that. And so they use the moon's gravity. So and the Earth is going to be perfect for that. You just get going, and then it's kind of like skipping a rock off water, and you just shoot out of it. So
I have not seen Pandorum. It's on my list of things to watch.
is that the weird alien route reboot?
No,
What is that?
this is cosmic horror. This is it's It isn't. It's not tied in with Ridley Scott's stuff at all.
Okay,
It's kind of hard to describe, especially since I haven't seen it. I've only seen trailers for it.
German British science fiction horror film with elements
Yeah.
of survival adventure. Produced by Paul W.S. Anderson is involved, which I know that he's gotten crap for some movies, but I've liked a lot of his movies. So I might have to take a look at that.
I like most of his bad movies too.
I do too. See, that's the thing is that I've liked most of his bad movies, and people are like, "Oh, but the movie sucked," and I'm like I still kind of entertained. It's still kind of a popcorn movie, dude.
His most recent outing was Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
It was bad, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, with his wife, Mila Jovovich is his wife. So
I will watch anything she's in, regardless of whether he's attached or not. I think she's great.
I do too. I liked her in the original Resident Evil movie. I know there are some people who didn't like it, but I liked it. So, I was younger at the time, but it's like to see Resident Evil, a PlayStation 1 game, come to the big screen. I was just like, as a kid, I was like, whoa, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe I would like to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I would like to say that I'm easily, not easily entertained, but, I guess maybe
you are easily entertained. So very easily entertained.
Man. I disagree. I watched the end of Velma and oh my god. Hey. Hey. None of that crap. Hey.
Kat, what do we have on the topic?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted and
Are you still fighting on Twitter?
Because the guy is being stupid.
Turn Twitter off.
Turn it off.
Stupid.
You are not doing yourself any favors.
You're telling me that in 1890 people celebrated Christmas as a secular holiday. I'm a meat popsicle. You're an idiot. Nobody in 1890 wasn't a Christian. The vast majority of England was Christian. That is so stupid.
Do you play on Twitter while you're playing Hogwarts Legacy?
I argued a little on Twitter at one point.
She did.
Oh god. While playing the game?
Yes. Because the whole thing is really frustrating. He's like, I'm offending him by telling him that you're being an idiot by saying that in 1890 people celebrated Christmas secularly.
Cat, Twitter is poison.
Log out.
Someone you guys follow too.
Log out and take a couple days break. It's good for your sanity. I'm gonna start calling you Dr. Peterson. Fucking guy gets way too into it on Twitter, and then he starts losing his mind and saying stupid shit. I'm like, I'm like, Doc, put the Twitter down, take a break, take a breather.
Here we are having a conversation about
right now. I can see it.
Yeah, here we are having a conversation about good movies and bad movies and the dynamics of space travel.
The whole thing really is frustrating, and it's
not really
because it's so anachronistic.
It's like a straw man argument.
You could just mute him,
or you could just take the high road and say, "Hey, let's agree to
disagree."
You're an idiot.
Buddy. I'm gonna flat out say you're an idiot.
That's not the high road, Cat. That's the low road.
That's let's agree to disagree, and you have a great Saturday night there, buddy.
Everyone agrees with me on this. In 1890, it was a religious holiday.
I don't agree with you on it. I told you to take the high road and just say, "Hey, let's agree to disagree, buddy." Be the bigger person. He's probably in his 20s. You are not.
He's an idiot who knows nothing about the 1890s.
Well, to be somewhat fair, none of us really know about the 1890s. We
No,
didn't live then.
But don't tell me in 1890 Christmas was a secular holiday, and that people living that even Hogwarts would have some Judeo-Christian basis.
Okay. So I would argue that. See, 1890 was right smack dab towards the end of the Age of Enlightenment, where people were trying to disprove the existence of God, and this was a big thing in England at that time. However, I think Christmas itself was probably still recognized with a religious kind of connotation and reverence, whereas a lot of those people who would celebrate Christmas and treat it as a religious and a holy thing would also on Monday morning argue for the non-existence of God because it was kind of in vogue at the time.
I honestly was just gonna say, everybody in the chat, go on to Twitter and find Kat and flag like a really milquetoast post for being transphobic, and then she'll have to take a 12-hour suspension, and then she'll be right back. So
No, because no. Look, I'm just saying. You want me to believe that in 1890 there would be an open lesbian relationship, regardless of if it's Hogwarts or not? I'm sorry, that's not happening. But no, apparently, according to this person, because it's the wizarding world, and they have it. No, their culture is still based on the Muggle one.
is this where you want to be when Muhammad comes back?
He's not coming back. He's dead.
Is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back?
Jesus would agree with me.
No, I don't think Jesus would. I have to fucking,
Wow.
I gotta poke it a little bit. Come on, man. This is where you want to be when Jesus comes back.
You want me to believe in
asking for a beheading
1890?
on the internet.
No, I'm sorry, but still, even in 1890, you want me to believe that no, and this whole argument that it's the wizarding world, so it's separate. No, there's still a very heavy cultural influence on the wizards. So no, I'm sorry, no matter how much you use it's the wizarding world, it's separate. They would have open lesbian. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Kat, the wizard world is not real.
I mean,
so I was saying this guy's
that's
an
a point.
idiot. I was saying you're an idiot.
Well, I mean, I would just counter with, look, if Christmas was a secular holiday, even if that was true, you also have to face the fact that, gays were thrown in prison.
That's what I pointed out. I said that gays were being thrown in prison in 1890.
Bring up Oscar Wilde.
But the wizarding world was separate. No, they still have a heavy basis on the Muggle world. It was like, oh, racism didn't exist. The only reason he says that racism doesn't exist in the wizard world is because of the recent movies didn't have racism. No, I'm telling you, probably did. They just didn't want to do it in a modern movie.
Just ask him if this is where he wants to be when Jesus comes back, and see what he says.
I would just mute him, walk away from the conversation.
I would too, but
we have spent like 15 minutes arguing about your argument on Twitter.
Yeah, I think it's been at least 10.
I don't know. I say when I get angry about something, it's hard to get distracted away from it. I find the whole thing really, really dumb, and nobody else is commenting on that or a lot of other things that I've noticed in the game. And I was like, you're the first person to bring that up. It's like, yeah, because it's blatantly obvious.
Yeah. Actually, Logical Spock, the word lesbian comes from the Isle of Lesbos, which is a place in Greece.
I'm not saying they didn't exist. I'm just saying that no lesbian woman in 1890 would go up to some random student and be like, this is my wife. I'm saying that she'd be like, this is my flatmate. This is my partner. She would not be openly admitting that this is her wife in 1890 because for all she knows, that student's father is an Anglican priest. No.
I knew I worked with somebody in real life who's definitely very gay. And they're like, oh yeah, my roommate. Now it's like, bro, you're in your like 50s. You don't have a fucking roommate. Like you have a fucking gay relationship. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but in 1890, they wouldn't that's not the first thing that would come to mind. I mean, Sherlock Holmes and Watson, a lot of people lived as flatmates for financial reasons because it was expensive. You didn't automatically assume that they were a couple. In the 1890s, that's not what people would be thinking. So yeah, the few who were actually gay would be like, yeah, that's my flatmate. That's about it. And no one would think otherwise.
Because if they said otherwise, they'd be thrown in jail, like Oscar
Yes,
Wilde
because
was,
they
in
would
fact,
be
thrown
in jail. Even in the wizarding world, which is heavily influenced by the Muggle world, they may not be thrown in jail, but it wouldn't be the accepted that this idiot is saying it would be accepted.
No, convicted of being a sodomite, I think is the phrase.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Speaking of
anyway,
that period of time,
I need to
London,
learn how to turn my brain off.
Yes.
Yeah, or Twitter. Just turn Twitter off. Your brain's fine. Just like exercise Twitter from it for a while. See how that
I
goes.
hate stupid. I have a problem with stupid.
So it's, you know what? If you wanted to turn it off for a whole month, that's fine. I have your email. I can send you links there. You know?
I only
So-
wanted my corpus stories to be recognized by the DE.
Speaking of, let's talk about some of that robosexualism.
Oh,
No,
let's
well,
not.
there's one thing though that when you think about sci-fi and fantasy and just civilizations, which is one that I've always brought up with the corpus, is the simple fact that they will have certain civilizations exist for extended periods of time, and it's like by nature it would be an extraordinary civilization that would last that long. So, for example, the one I've always been using is the corpus, which they make them act like idiots. But at the same time, when you think about it, this is a culture and a society that has existed for millennia. If they were as oppressive and horrific as they claim they were, they would not be surviving for thousands upon thousands of years. They have found something right that works for them and has managed to hold on to it. I mean, look at what we're falling apart after what? A couple centuries? Sex bots, UA, sex bots.
Got the,
Yeah,
we got
it's sex bots. And actually, what's going to happen is it'll be sex bots who will develop true AI, who will then decide that we are unnecessary for their continued sex bottery, and will massacre all of humanity.
they'll probably get tired of being used for one thing, sex.
Skynet will claim it was trafficked.
I mean, and let's be honest here, okay? a sex robot is going to be stronger than any human being. It's like, what happens if it gets a little rough? Like it has a malfunction,
You've seen The Boys, right?
it breaks something off.
Yeah, you seen The Boys, right? I don't want to get too graphic here because I get yelled at by my mother, but there are explicit consequences to having sex with people who are much stronger than you in that show.
Yeah.
Hey, I joked about it. I said that one of my characters kissed a robot and ended up electrocuting himself as a joke and a dare.
Yeah, I saw the beginning of season 3. I saw the
I
penis
wasn't
thing.
even talking about season 3. Back in season 1 with the pop claw chick and the landlord.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And she like flexes her thighs for a second, and yeah,
Yep.
it's not good. Or the other guy who was in the recovery group because he had been intimate with a woman who basically was sub-zero temperatures, and it just kind of snapped off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Like liquid nitrogen. Yeah. So like it, I mean, these are so I imagine, yeah, with robots and stuff, you'd have similar issues. I mean, they'd have finer motor control than our own musculature. You know, there's nothing that a machine does that it cannot regulate.
Well, that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I thought the whole Saint 14 Osiris thing was stupid, because Saint 14 is an exo and a robot,
See you later, Zarin.
and
See ya.
Osiris is a human being. Guardian, yes, but still a human.
Yep. Have a great night, Ozzy. We'll see you later. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Why are we talking about sex robots?
I have no idea.
Is this? I mean, to boldly go in another direction, than sex robot. I don't know. I mean, I guess data kind of was for a minute. You know, with Tasha Yar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they did. Like they had that like what one night or something, or one episode where there's like some funkiness.
Yeah, the whole Enterprise went crazy and horny at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean they didn't all go horny. Like some of them went like, yeah, obviously they couldn't do anything with Will Wheaton's character because he was a kid, so he just went like a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't you can't do the pervy. Well, you're not supposed to do the gross stuff with children. It is home.
Yeah, Michelle, that's probably true because boys are one-track minded.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't bring up sex robots. Ryan did. Wait, no, UA did.
I didn't bring up sex robots.
I don't know. I was trying to
fucking
look
blame
at
me.
it. I don't know, UA. We may like there are things that are kind of building blocks to that exist already. You know, but like that's probably a ways out yet. If you're talking about pilotable mechs, that's probably a little bit more feasible. But given the trend towards automation, full automation, I doubt that that's the direction that development won't go. Just because it's probably cheaper, easier, and safer to make a machine that doesn't require, you know, a pilot. That'd be my guess. So, you missed the sex robots talk. And Carrie says, yes, we already have mechs. So, but I mean, they're obviously not available to, you know, everybody or anything like that. But yeah, technology does exist, I think. But, you know, I mean, what was that, Iron Man 2, where they were at the congressional hearing and they showed that video of one of the hammer guys and it just kind of like twisted the guy inside it. I mean, that's probably why there's not going to be a lot of like mechery. There'll be more robots.
Yeah. It's going to be tough to do, to be honest. You know, it's one of those things that human beings, we do a lot of great stuff, right? But the idea is to mostly take human beings out of harm's way, not to put them in it. And even in a suit made of whatever, it would still put a human being in harm's way. Because quite frankly, all the times that Iron Man gets blown up or falls, and freaking smacks on the ground.
Oh yeah, his insides should be liquefied.
Exactly. Yeah. He's gonna be a fucking corpse. So I mean, obviously for the movies we can distill disbelief, but you would have to have like it's no different than like your brain inside your skull. Like if your body stops like that, your brain hits the front of your fucking inside of your cranium, and that's why you get brain damage, you get brain bleeding. It's the same concept with a human being inside the metal suit.
Oh, it isn't just I mean, like all of your internal organs are held in place by your rib cage and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean that they won't bounce off of the inside of your rib cage.
No, and most likely you'd probably end up fracturing ribs. You probably get fragments of ribs in like your vital organs and stuff, and that's going to cause internal bleeding. I mean, it'd be a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be goo. You'd be goo in a sack of skin.
I mean, that's all we fucking are is goo. I mean, we're fucking like we're the majority of us are water. Like we are held together by the lowest form of quality molecules. It's just the way it is.
Did you
Warframe UA Warframe?
Did you ever
I'm
see
finally
those...
eating something. I haven't eaten all the in like 24 hours.
What the hell, woman? You weirdo.
Well, she hasn't had an appetite.
That's right. You were sick on Thursday. Okay. Yeah. You said you were feeling better. I didn't know that you hadn't eaten. Should have had a banana. Just been like eating it on stream. No.
Yeah. You think I'm that naive and stupid? How stupid do you think I am?
No. Oh man, I really am a bad person.
Yeah,
I really am kind of a piece of shit.
So are we all. I'm not gonna deny it.
Here's Carrie's just sent me something interesting. We'll bring it up here. We were just talking about robots.
Yeah.
Well, this is I think it's a real life mech warrior robots. So let's check this out. Interesting.
Two giant robots will battle until only one is left standing.
It is like something out of a movie, a giant robot duel. The U.S. robotics company challenged its Japanese counterpart, our robot versus theirs.
Team USA to upgrade its fighter.
Wait, this was a movie.
Yeah, what?
Oh, was it? Yeah, I know there were movies. There have been several movies. I mean, you go all the way back to Robot Jocks in the 80s. kind of thing. But
Dude, that is like a cinematic trailer.
yeah, it kind of seems that way. Let's see where this goes. Now I'm curious.
For over 40 years, we've been primed by
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah,
computer games like MechWarrior to expect that one day giant fighting robots will exist. Well, it seems that day is upon us. A company by the name of Megabots Inc. has made 16-foot tall robots weighing 12 tons that actually fight against other robots of similar size and weight in
with what, paintballs?
Yeah. Well, they're gonna use non-lethal projectiles so they don't
Sure.
damage the equipment and
Hmm.
possibly a human being. I mean, but okay, so at the same time though, you're talking about something that it's going to be able to propel some type of rockets. It's going to probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of like a 50 caliber machine gun on it. I mean, that glass is going to have to be beyond indestructible. And quite frankly, the technology for surviving like in RPG 7, which is armor piercing, usually only lies with like the US government and not like civilian contractors. And it's only used for like the highest priority of like, let's say, the president of the United States, because if somebody tries hypothetically to blow up his limousine or something like that, or even, fire on Air Force One, it needs to be able to survive the actual explosion. So I mean, maybe 50 caliber, but like if you launch a rocket into that thing that's meant to pierce glass, it's armor piercing, it's going to go through that glass.
Yeah,
And if it doesn't rattle the human inside of it, like, kind of like the same concept, you're going to be, I mean, imagine taking a flash grenade like within 3 feet of your face.
right. And even that, like just the amplification of noise inside that thing's got to be,
Yeah.
just the noise alone will make your ears, dribble.
I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what's the point of even putting humans in it? That's the other thing. When you really, really think about it, we have drones. We're going to advance our technology to the point where.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're teaching kids how to basically play a live action video game with a drone and shoot shit down.
Yeah.
Well, and that was something else that I mentioned earlier, was with the trend towards automation in pretty much every aspect of life. There's no real reason to build something like this that requires a human pilot because of human error and because of the potential for human life lost. Most people are going to trend towards totally automated machines, kind of thing. I mean, there will come a time when the drones aren't piloted by kids sitting at computers.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, Kat.
I was just going to say, but that's one of the reasons why when people ask me, should women serve in combat roles? It's like, on the one hand, no, but on the other hand, it's like, what is our future military going to be like? What I'm saying is, when it reaches the point where we're just sitting in front of a computer piloting drones, that's different. I totally agree right now. We do not want women in combat roles because women cannot lift or do nearly anything. And I'm talking from someone who works with guys. So no, totally agree. But on the other hand, when we reach the point where there is nobody out on the field, or we have enough drones where we just have women sitting at computers targeting, that's why it's like, how much I'm no expert, so I could be totally wrong. But how I'm not knowledgeable about it, but I'm saying, is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
Michelle, that UFO wasn't the UFO; it was another Chinese balloon.
yeah, I guarantee it was another Chinese balloon.
No, they flat said it was.
Oh, did they? I hadn't seen that report yet. So no, to say specifically what you're talking about, Kat, is exactly spot on. The United States military does not want to put human beings in harm's way any more than it has to. And because quite frankly, human beings are fallible. They're susceptible to freezing on the spot and all that kind of stuff. And that ultimately doesn't necessarily just mean one life lost. If you freeze in a high risk situation, you not only risk getting killed yourself or injured, but then you risk somebody else who has to drag your fucking ass out the fucking hole. Right. And so and that's a big problem. So now you're risking 2 people if you don't die, and then of course a third guy is most likely going to have to cover you. So now there's a third guy who's at risk. Who 2 guys are trying to save 1 guy, and then of course you're looking at a laundry list of medical bills for the rest of your life that the U.S. government has to pay for.
Yeah.
I am classified as a tier 1 disabled veteran. I get a monthly payment every month because I was injured on active duty in the United States Army, and that'll never go away. I can walk into NVA into the country, and if I need an expensive surgery, they have to do it because I was injured on active duty. And so the thing is that that's a lifelong bill, and it's not even necessarily that it's like I'm proud of that fact. It's that's just a lifelong bill that they have to eat up now, and the American taxpayers have to eat up, and the American taxpayers don't want their kids or their spouses in harm's way either. So it's like eventually we will do away with that because it's just not going to be cost effective to put people in that kind of a danger when you can put a machine that, even if it gets half of its fucking, half its arm blown off, can still fucking function, to where if a human being gets half your arm blown off, you're not really going to be running and gunning. I'm sorry. You're going to be trying to try not to die because you have a major artery that runs right here. Yeah. So it's not going to happen. It is going to be drastically more cost effective to have human beings behind the scenes controlling these creations, and eventually to have them. And I don't know, maybe it won't be a good idea, but eventually have them run and control themselves and coordinate with an AI supercomputer that can strategically precisely fight a battle and coordinate silently. So and quite frankly, go somewhere in the Middle East. These dudes, they're not gonna know how to combat that. I'm sorry. If you see the level of fighters within the Middle East, and I know that our exit from Afghanistan was like super embarrassing, but it's like you're talking about dudes who think it's a good idea just to I saw a video recently on Twitter where they're probably Al Qaeda or something like that. I don't think they were ISIL is the new one, right? It's not ISIS anymore. It's the anyway.
Who knows at this point? These people are just
they literally one of them had a fucking had what did he have on his head? He had like a can or something. The other guy's using an AK-47 and he shoots off the guy's face, and it's like,
oh my god. Yeah,
these guys do not have a high shelf life, and
because they don't have anybody. Because they're children training children to be children in a stupid fight that they don't even understand what they're doing. Oh, they get stupid.
But at the same time, though, that's not how our soldiers were trained. And even though we have better training, it's really kind of hard to kick the shit out of people who just don't give a shit. And that's been kind of the problem in the Middle East for thousands of years. You have a population of people who just don't care.
I think that's a bit of an oversimplification of it, but Syria, for example, Syrians have been at war with everybody since there have been Syrians. They're not fighting their neighbors; they're fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of like part of being a Syrian is just like, hey, you got to kill people or be killed.
Well, here's one thing to think about. When we come down to it, all right, we have a lot we want to live for. When you're someone who, I'm just thinking, why would they? It's like, you're talking about people who, I don't know, they don't have as much to live for, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and I definitely, it definitely was an oversimplification. I'll say this. So Islam is not necessarily, it's not really at all an aggressive faith or anything like that. If you meet somebody who truly is a Muslim and stuff like that, they are very kind-hearted, and well, unless you're fighting with the Twitter
flame war queen.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless you're fighting on Twitter.
I don't like stupid. If you're being stupid,
she's like infidels.
If you're doing something, if you're trying to argue stupid with me, I've got a problem with pure stupid, and that to me is pure stupid.
But
I'm sort of like Spock. Look, I like logic. I'm like if Spock got very angry. All right, every time somebody did something illogical, Spock lost his temper. That would be me.
But that's also we could also say that's the fallible human side. But no, to long story short, the people You're talking about the giant weirdos, okay? It's like the ones that are like, ah, and they're like yelling and they're angry and they're shooting AK-47s in the air and there's like 40 of them and it's like, those are going to come down, right? And you shot straight up, like you're only going to be at probably like there's a village downwind, dudes. You guys are kind of fucked.
Right.
So it's like it's the extremists that make every culture look bad. It's no different than the extreme Christians or Antifa or BLM who want to burn cities down, or Westboro Baptist Church who they boycott a soldier's funeral.
Boycotted. They've been disbanded.
Have they really?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, still, I mean, they would boycott.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 of them left who still go out and picket and shit, but the rest of them moved on with their lives.
It's no better than what the KKK was. I mean, they're actively probably like 25. I think there's like 25 to 3,000 members of the active Ku Klux Klan members left in this country officially, as in like registered. Like, oh, I'm registered. Whatever the fuck that means.
It probably means tailgating barbecues.
Yeah, I mean, well, so it's like, and unfortunately, whether you like it or not, that's their right to do so. I think they're pieces of shit. I think the Westboro people are pieces of shit. I think Antifa is pieces of shit, but it's like there's always going to be piece of shit human beings. They're gonna have literally no respect for human life, whether it's theirs or others.
Not breaking the law, then hey, I mean, my dad said he wouldn't want to live in America where some of this stuff is illegal because then it's policing caught and your opinion. So yeah, as long as you don't got bodies in your basement, hey, you want to be part of the KKK. I may not agree with you, but you have the right to do that. Hell, hey, you want something that's really controversial? This happened years ago when I was working at the library. We had a conference, right? And they were like, are the neo? Am I allowed to say it? Not.
Yeah, you can say it. I don't have an issue with that.
Are neo-Nazis allowed to rent the auditorium of a library, of a public library? The
public
answer
space?
Yes.
Oh, no, she said
Yes,
the
they
N-word.
They are allowed as long as they're following the rules. So, for example, if you don't allow food in your auditorium, then as long as they don't bring food, they're perfectly fine. If you require 2 weeks out advance warning to plan to schedule use of the auditorium, as long as they do that, they're good.
Yep.
So, yeah, this will probably horrify people, but yeah, they're allowed, and I have no problem because they have the right. As long as they're not burning people in their basements, you have that right.
And
I would say, oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and Kat and I have the right that if we see somebody waving that kind of a flag, be like, "Oh, dude, you can fuck off. You're a loser." Yeah. It's like, now if I go up and punch them in the face, I violated that's assault. I violated their constitutional rights. There's a difference.
Yeah.
They can be as nasty of a person with their mouth and their displays as they want. You have no right to
like Ryan, you used to be a cop. So that I'm sure you're familiar with this too. There's a difference between saying pig at a cop and saying you're a pig. That's been my experience. At least that's been the difference between handcuffed beatings and a ticket.
I gotta be honest. Quite frankly, I wouldn't respond either way. I'd be like, I'd probably actually
but I mean,
if anything, I'd be like, you know what, sir, you have a nice day.
It isn't about the specific cop. It's about like legally what can be. It's like one of them I think is considered slander, and the other one is just an expression.
Well, I'm a constitutionalist, so I fall under the auspices that's free speech. If somebody
sure, but again, in a court of law,
this is a great way to look at this. So when I was trained, there was a guy that trained me. He said, he's like, there was one time I was driving down the road behind a school bus, and he's like, a kid. It was a high school bus. He's like, and a kid flipped me off, and so and he was like, was it a school bus? Yes, it was a school bus. And he's like, so he's like, I pulled the school bus over. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, so I went and I talked to the young man. I said, hey, I saw you waving me down. Do you need help? And he was like, no, sir. And he's like, oh, okay. I just thought maybe there was a problem. And he obviously that's an easy way to teach the kid like a lesson, like, hey, maybe don't do that. Any kind of gesture that might get a police officer's attention, whether it be like this or this, it's like, maybe, are you trying to catch our attention? Are you just trying to be an a-hole? It's like, you're not hurting the kid. You're not infringing on the kid's rights in any way, shape, or form. You know, you're not infringing on anybody's rights, but you saw the opportunity to have a talk with that child and say, hey, maybe it's best not to flag a police officer down with any gesture unless you need assistance. You know,
Yeah.
so and I think that's a subtle way also to teach the child a little bit of respect, like, because unfortunately, Caucasian Sasquatch, abuse of power and total ego for flipping a cop off. I mean, how do you know that? What if the cop what if the kid actually flipped the cop off in a legitimate attempt to try to get his attention? You know, because just waving at a police officer like that, you think it's going to get his attention, or is he just going to think that everybody's waving at him? Do you think that if, let's say hypothetically, the school bus was hijacked, if the kid goes like this, do you think he might not get fucking shot? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah. But on top of that, it reminds me of, what was it, the policy they had in New York when I think it was.
Hold on, Caucasian Sasquatch. It's not an extra right. It's a duty. So he's saying, he's like, you did one of the most lewd gestures that a child could do on a school bus. What if that was a legitimate situation and come to find out school bus number 1239 ended up being hijacked, and that was a way for a kid to try to get the cops' attention? Right? It could just be a disrespect thing, which is fine.
Yeah, and odds are that's what it was, but
like, what if it wasn't? Do you know? I mean, I can't tell the future. If you can tell the future, then let's have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think you can tell the future. And he stopped the bus because his tyrant fifis were hurt. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. Everybody has an opinion, like everybody has an asshole. Most of the time they stink. And quite frankly, if it was just an ego thing and he's like, well, that kid fucking flipped me off. Yeah, that's an ego thing. But what if he thought, hey, this kid is doing something like egregious? What if something's possibly wrong? Is that not maybe a different way to look at that? How would you, if you were in the situation, how would you handle that? You gonna flip the kid off back? I would like to know what you would like to do, because this is the classic problem that I don't like, is that people say, well, that cop was just having an ego. He just wanted to beat the shit out of that guy. He just wanted to kill that guy. What would you do if you were in that situation? If your answer is, I don't know, then you don't have the right to have an opinion and judge others based on what they're talking about. Unless you are in that specific situation, your opinion is rendered moot. You can still have said opinion. I will defend your right to have that opinion all day long. Investigate, don't trigger a hostage situation. How is that a hostage situation? How is a police officer checking on a child that might be in distress a hostage situation? You can say you never said that, but you did. You said that was his ego. What if it wasn't? You didn't think about that. You just spouted off about it.
Okay.
Sorry. If you're gonna come at me sideways, dude.
I get it, man. It's like we were just talking with Kat about differences of opinion.
Well, it's a difference between fighting and trying to educate somebody. Think about what you would do if you were in that situation. I'm not saying either opinion's right or wrong, but if somebody's gonna come at me with it sideways, I gotta address it.
Well, you are making a valid point. You don't know why the kid may be trying to get attention. On top of that, this is more controversial.
I mean, Samuel, if you and Sasquatch are friends, I apologize. I mean, but I'm going to address it, because you just never know what you're walking into. You never know what somebody might be doing to try to get help if it's under duress.
That's fair. And I don't disagree with that point. I also have seen a number of situations like Squatch has that have absolutely been abuses of power. The fact is there are a lot of dickhead cops. There are also some cops who are not. There are. You can't paint every cop with the same brush. That's just asinine. However, it's like I was saying a couple weeks ago about doctors, man. I know there are good doctors. I know there are people who are genuinely trying to be healers and do the best for all of their patients. But I also know that there are liars and frauds and sellouts among them, and I cannot tell the difference just by looking. So I have to assume that they're all bad. You understand?
Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't I wasn't trying to go in him at a personal level, and I hope that's very clear. My whole entire point is that sometimes it's really hard to tell the situation from the outside of it. Now, like I said, if it was an ego thing, I don't agree with that. But he did state the fact that he's like, what if that kid need helped? And I hadn't got a chance to get to that because I wasn't allowed to finish what I was saying, because I was like, because I kind of even, myself, I was like, okay. And then he's like, no, what if he needed help? And that was the only way to do it. Because, yeah, trust me, if somebody's watching a school bus full of kids trying to hijack them, this is not going to work. It's like that's not going to end good. But I got to use the bathroom real quick, so I'll let you guys move on to the next topic. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, Michelle, I saw your post. I'm sorry, it wasn't the time to bring it up. No, congratulations. I will put it up on the thing here. That's great. I'm glad you're not doing that anymore. But yeah, like right in the middle of a conversation that's getting a little heated is not really the time to be bringing up personal stuff. But I am happy for you.
Same. No, the other thing is, it reminds me of something else, and this might be more controversial, but remember, I think it was when Giuliani, who was the Republican in charge of New York?
That was Giuliani, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they have a policy of like broken glass windows or something, where it's like, stop the small crimes before they turn into big crimes? And while it isn't a crime to, he could not have been, it may not have been about his ego. Another possibility is just like, yeah, if you're flipping off police officers when you're in like middle school, what are you going to be doing next? So he couldn't be doing it about his ego and be like, hey, kid.
Yeah, Kat, that's iffy though, because you get
it is
into
iffy.
kind of a Minority Report shit, or like stopping people from committing crimes that they might commit or that they will commit in the future by arresting them now. I mean, I'm
not saying arrest them. I'm just saying.
I know, but that's where that train of thought leads.
I'm iffy, but like you said, the whole, if somebody breaks a window, you go after them then, because that's the first step towards a bigger crime. I get it. That's why I said it's more controversial. Something I'm like, devil's advocate, throwing random thoughts out there. It's like, yeah, the kids kind of, maybe just let them know,
See, and I get like maybe you take that youth, you make them pay for the window, and you help them understand why they shouldn't be breaking windows, because that will, I think, in a lot of cases, help them understand why, certain other laws, like bigger laws, bigger crimes, like this, not just breaking a window. Now it's taking a TV from the store or the window that you just broke, kind of thing. Like you stop the small crimes by educating them.
I think one of the big issues for me, and like I said, I'm tossing out just random thoughts out there, is the fact that the slippery slope argument that we back then, where they're like, oh, you're overdoing it, that one little step is leading to nothing. Now it's like, I remember when things that now are such a big deal were so minor. It's like, it doesn't matter, it's just this, and next thing you know, you have Leah Thomas.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, a slippery slope applies to so many different things.
Yeah.
It's not just about degeneracy. I mean, just so in a job that I had previously, one of the responsibilities was risk prevention, right? So I would logically have to think out, how could this go wrong, and how many different ways, and what, and all that, and then do my best to prevent all of the bad things from happening. So for a while there, that's all I was doing at work, and it kind of got ingrained into my brain, and it doubly after I had kids. So all I see is the slippery slope. I look at something and I think about all the ways it could go wrong, and I do what I can to, prevent that from happening. But at a certain point, like, you get into Minority Report territory, and at that point, you're stepping on people's rights. So now, before we get too serious here, Carrie sent this, and he told me to go to this timestamp, or approximately this timestamp. Apparently, there's a chainsaw the size of a Volkswagen.
Well, I believe that, yeah.
Which is involved, and I really want to see this. So, hey, Kawhi. All right.
And now it appears a shoving match is taking place. That chainsaw is now activated.
Oh yeah.
Taking it down systematically. Oh my God, they're coming our way.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, just from a purely male I don't want to say erogenous zone, but I think that's what I mean kind of point of view. That's pretty awesome.
That is wicked awesome. Though I thought is that real or is that from the movie? Because I
No, this is real.
Yeah, that one looked real.
Yeah, this is very real.
What are you worried about?
What's that?
He's saying to keep going.
You're the robotics expert.
That's why I'm scared. I think
What are you talking about? Can he get the finish right here? Wow!
We're getting close,
This
man.
is crazy.
No, I don't.
What?
I think we
Hold
should
up!
go. No, we
Get
should
out of here!
Oh, sweet.
I have never seen anything like this. The chainsaw's still eating away at Karatis' shoulder.
Oh, there's a guy in there?
Yeah, they both have pilots.
Oh.
And
Fuck
we
you.
have a winner. Team Megabots.
Yeah, I bet he did win.
Oh, sweet.
Fuck that.
That is awesome.
That looks
That is so
fun.
awesome. Yeah. Get me one of those.
It's like, and I oh man, can you imagine being the guy in a tin can that didn't have the chainsaw?
Yeah, I don't want to be in that fucking tin can.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, come on. Even if you're the one who's getting chainsawed, you're still in a giant robot fighting another giant robot. I don't care. I'd rather be even the one being chainsawed, but I'd still rather be beat.
What the hell are your defenses? You don't have machine guns, like you don't have a 50 cal on your shoulder.
You're still in a giant robot.
Yeah, but
That's cool.
the other giant.
I mean, you could do a number of different kinds of things, defensive and offensive. I mean, I would think probably, like, well, you played, the Bethesda Fallouts, the Power Fist.
Yeah.
That could be adapted to something like this. That idea, anyway.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But it's just like, what did the other guy do other than get his ass chainsawed?
It's still cool.
Now, to be fair, this is something like, this is like 22 minutes or so into this video. I think this actually goes on for a while before that.
Carrie said fake pout or fake out. I'm not sure which one he means.
Fake.
The guy in the robot. Fake pout. Okay, yeah, that is probably. I like if you know your opponent has like a freaking. Okay. Like what maybe have a high intensity what maybe like an arc welders, not arc welder, what am I looking for, plasma torch or something to like grab and cut, just lob a live on. I don't know.
Like, you mean fake out, not fall out. You got the
wrong. I got
you. Fake out.
Yeah, that's he's a bit of a purist.
I do like me. Okay, you son of a bitch, you.
I don't know. I like the Bethesda games. I did.
I do too.
I think that New Vegas is probably one of the better RPGs I've ever played.
I would agree.
As glitchy as it is.
I agree. I love New Vegas. Absolutely. I love the fact that you have different ammo types. I love the whole entire thing because I grew up obviously on that side of the country. I know nothing about Washington DC. So exploring that is great. It's absolutely fucking awesome. And two, it's based off of it makes it easier because the Fallout 3 is obviously, it takes place in DC, and they do the best job they can to kind of like adapt and stuff like that. But like the Vegas area and everything, Nevada, Arizona, New York, where not New York, what the hell am I talking about? Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico, that the areas right there, and even a little bit of Colorado, is all centered in that area, and those are like real landmarks, like real places you can stop, and they're named after, for the most part, their real counterpart, which is super cool. It's so cool. So like, yeah, Good Springs is a real place, and they advertise too. Good Springs, home of the something like home of Fallout New Vegas. Let me see if I can look it up.
Well, it's funny, actually, and I can't remember if it was I think it was in Fallout 3, actually. The Bethesda offices are in DC, or at least they have an office there, and you can go there and
they're
loot
in
it.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, you can go there and loot it.
Yeah,
in game, which is funny.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's hilarious. I just wanted to say real quick. I don't know if Sasquatch is still in the chat, but I sent a message to him saying, "Hey man, I didn't mean to get so intense." So hopefully he I didn't mean to get so intense on your channel too, dude. Like, it's your channel. That was my bad. I'm not ever looking to disagree with anybody on that certain.
I don't have a problem with the arguments. It just kind of seemed like it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Like
we're going to have to disagree.
Yeah, I kind of like that agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand that too, because JV is a great guy. But he can get a little passionate about stuff too. And sometimes I have to be like, JV, easy.
Well, sort of like me. I mean, I did even worse getting my Twitter argument into this because I got so frustrated.
Yeah, no, it's just, I get it. It's not my channel, and I know that I've been on other channels where it's like this is probably actually the easiest going channel I've been on, but it's like, rarely do I disagree with the audience. I kind of felt like that was inappropriate because the audience is here to interact with us. You shouldn't go after the audience, so I mean, it's okay to disagree with the audience, but if like maybe a point it gets too far, kind of let it go.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because like none of us are relevant without an audience to watch us, to interact with us, say, hey, what do you think about this? Like, I think this. It's like, yeah. So I just want to put that out there. But hold on. I'm looking up Good Springs looks awesome. Like, you can go there. You can literally go there, and it's hold on, let me see if
I mean, Ryan is in no way in the same boat as Tim Pool, but
no. I would never, ever tell anybody to get the
or worse, Frost.
Get the F out. I am always open to everybody's opinion.
Do the seal clap for me.
Hold on. Damn it.
You tell him.
Yeah. Tell him, Frost. Oh God. To ever be possibly considered in that boat, and of course, I mean, obviously, I think everybody's just kind of giving me shit, which is fine. That's why we're here. You can't. I mean, shit. Play the dildos fucking clip. I don't fuck care.
I mean, if you say so.
Well, I said dildos. that's single.
Oh no, the other one's not a clip.
It's just
some grossness.
Good Springs. Yeah, that one's so bad. It's so terrible looking.
So,
it's so crazy.
The Chrissy Frost one. Yeah, I can probably find that. I don't know if Nerdrotic has clipped out her second performance on that yet or not, but
I don't think so,
because that was great too. But I don't want to like go fishing through a whole F and T to find it either. So, but we could probably do the Frost rap. I know he's got that one clipped.
Okay, I'm gonna send myself the Fallout side by side, and then I'll share it, because literally you can see how they literally correspond like almost perfectly. Oh, holy shit. Have you seen the video of like the guy like who's doing like the Kratos Viking thing, jumping into a pit of water?
What?
You haven't seen that?
No.
What? Hold on. Okay. Shit.
Honestly, I was thinking of making a TikTok channel just so I could do basic math on it and teach people math just to blow people's mind. But then I don't want to be on TikTok because TikTok is dangerous. But I was going to be like, just do basic math videos.
Okay, hold on.
To educate the world of TikTok with something that is actually wholesome.
Sam, if you want, I can pull it up, or you can pull it
Yeah,
up.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm still trying to find this rap. I don't know. It usually comes right up. It's not.
Dude, this fucking guy looks like fucking Kratos, and oh my god. No, I didn't say play. I said sexism in gaming.
Oh,
Sexism in gaming.
Oh God.
You know, one thing I've learned when it comes to the chat, you got to steer into the fucking skid, man. If you have like a bad opinion, fucking own up to it.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing I've learned from being on the Legion of Memers too. Like I had a bad opinion. Somebody's like, this is almost as bad as
nothing. I glimpsed the thing that that's wild.
Okay, are you ready for me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here you go. This guy's fucking crazy. Oh, what the? I actually.
It's time for war. Sharpen your axes, man.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Fucking crazy.
Oh, that is awesome.
Holy shit.
Damn, dude.
I mean, with axes in hand, right?
Yeah.
And he's not wearing anything but his compression shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Okay, and I sent the photo too, so and I'll share that. Yeah, that dude's got a giant penis.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
he's
unless he landed on that axe wrong.
That dude's got a giant fucking hog.
And that dude is awesome.
All right, and this is the comparison of Good Springs from the game to real life, which is one reason I want to go there so bad.
All right, let's see.
Look at that. That's nuts.
Yeah,
that's a crazy comparison.
Pretty good amount of detail there.
Yeah, that's why, you know, and it's like it wasn't even Bethesda that did that one. It was Obsidian, which I do like Obsidian. Whoa, that was
Oh, that is terrifying. That yours came with TikTok reinstalled.
TikTok bad.
The only reason I was considering is I was like, you know what, somebody needs to put something brainy, because I'm like, remember when the internet was fun and it was like you got attention by doing something creative and new. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do some basic math on TikTok just to be like, let's bring something wholesome to TikTok. But then I'm like, yeah, but TikTok is not exactly where you'd want to be.
Yeah. So for a bit of levity, as requested, I present the Frost Grab.
Friday Night Tights. You're about to get frostbitten.
Get him.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. All you geeks and gamers better stop jerking off to me, okay? I smell like burnt hair, Julie. That isn't stopping you. I fuck you like you're retarded because I think you're all retarded.
Hey, so that burnt hair and patchouli bit gets me every damn time.
I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten. Friday Night Tights. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'll wait.
Weird.
Do not come. Do not come.
I hate those nose rings.
I gotta
not
say,
even an actual nose ring, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a clip in. Chrissy really fucking owned this parody.
Yeah.
She did.
Her and X-Ray Girl are probably some of my favorite guests. They were so laid back and easygoing, and there were a lot of jerking off intensely. I was too. I was too.
Yeah, not too much. They're on just some arguments, giant robot with pilot with chainsaws and some dildo action and and now Frost as played by Chrissy Mayer.
I gotta learn how to relax. Like, obviously, with the whole Twitter thing, where it's just when things to me seem so blatantly obvious, and something is just so stupid. It's like I can't just drives me nuts.
Go ahead, Samuel.
I was just gonna say one of the best pieces of advice I have ever gotten from a movie was from the movie Zombieland. Enjoy the little things.
Yeah, it's a good point. Also,
and double tap.
Yeah, it's always double tap. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Ironically, what was funny is that we were like, oh, we're going to talk about more positive shit, and it's like, oh, we veered off a couple times. It's
yeah, we tried.
fucking rabbit hole is deep.
Well, that's why we're gonna finish this Frost prep because it's fun.
Yes, it's definitely fun.
Qualified. Go ahead, make my day. Call me Beaver Barbie.
Bitch, you're that goddamn ugly. I jerked off to the dislike ratio.
I'm not hot to you.
No. What in the heck did I just walk into?
Wow. People keep confusing me for a prepubescent and Justin Bieber.
That line is so good.
She looks like a boy. That's the thing I never understood. She looks like a boy. You trying to look like a boy?
She does. She just looks like a discount Machine Gun Kelly. Like you got him from Kmart.
Oh man, that's wild.
That gets me every time.
Someone in the chat called me Eminem mid-transition.
That's a good one too.
All right, I'll stop. I promise.
Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten. Why did I type? Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'm standing up for all the women at G4. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Pockets, Scissors, tape dispenser, and filing cabinet.
Filing cabinet.
X-ray girl, she is a beautiful young Oriental. X-ray girl,
Give me cock. Ask them the price of cock.
X-ray girl, what is this for you to stroke your chopstick to?
That was so bad.
Yeah, but it's also probably one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
Give me cock. And pass your cock.
You don't like it? Go somewhere else. Peace.
Yeah.
We did go somewhere else, honey. We did go.
She is
God.
I love that they remixed that and got it out there. I love that she just like you guys have seen her other parody characters that she does on there occasionally, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grace Randolph.
Yeah, Grace Randolph is fantastic.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. So, if anybody's ever actually watched Grace Randolph, oh god,
so annoying.
She sounds just like Grace Randolph. It's fucking creepy.
Well, Grace Randolph actually blocked my original account because she didn't like an opinion I had about something that she was simping for. I was like, dude, I'm like, you're just going for media access. I'm like, this is horseshit. Like stop, blow, I don't remember what I said, but yeah, I got blocked, and I was like, okay, well, guess I struck a nerve on that one. But same with Taylor Lorenz, like, I struck a nerve with her too on my original account, because these people can't fucking handle criticism. It's like, and look, and I'm not saying that nobody's perfect. I mean, we're all fallible, but it's like these people, they're like, if you don't like my opinion, you can go somewhere else. It's like, that's okay. That's not a good thing. It's like, we can disagree and still have a conversation. Now, it may not be the most productive conversation, as we probably previously saw with Kat and even the situation with me. you know, you're going to agree to disagree eventually some point, but it's like to tell people to actively shove off is just stupid.
Well, I had though in one case, I had one circumstance where we were where it was right after the Roe v. Wade thing, and the person was bringing up these really ridiculous circumstances to the point where it's like, no, you're definitely making it up. So then the person is claiming that they're not talking to me; they're talking to other people in the chat. I'm like, dude, if you're in my live stream, you're talking to me. It's like, I'm not talking to you. I don't want to talk to you. Like, then why are you in the live stream? I'm like, then I was like, shove off. Like, once you're in my live stream, you can't be like, well, I'm not talking to you.
I see you in the chat. I see you in the chat.
And so in that case, it was like, wait a minute. So you
Chicken
come
off
into
to your
my
girl.
live stream, you're talking to other. So I'm like, you know what? If you want to talk to other people in the live stream, contact them separately. But don't expect me to not interact with you if you're in my live stream. So that one was like, okay. And sometimes people do. I mean, this one got to the point where it was utterly ridiculous. Where the person's like, "Oh well, if they have the baby, they're gonna die. If they don't have the baby, they're gonna die." It's like, dude, you're going into such. So I'm like, that's dumb. It doesn't make sense. So they're like, "Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the chat." Well, then why are you in my live stream?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, usually people like that, it's best to. They're obviously not looking for your opinion, and they're probably not looking for the opinions of others either. They're just there to you know, spout what they believe, and probably also at the same time looking for a fight. So and I would equate it to, you know, everything going with Hogwarts Legacy. And that's why, of course, you know, I got my description to be, you know, kind of like clownish, because it's like a video game's not hurting people. Making a website, I do believe it's down now. Making a website to track Twitch streamers that are playing the game is nuts. That's nuts.
Well, it's the same shit that the J6 people were talking about right after that happened. Well, we gotta put a list, make a list of everybody who, you know,
voted for
in
Trump.
any way endorsed this and or didn't say anything to stop it, or blah blah blah. You know, it's very 1984 fucking, you know.
Well, one politician actually agreed. She was like, we should have a list of the people who are live streaming. So it was like Zoe Zephyr or something. So I'm like, oh, I get it. So then we should have a list of all the trans people, not to harass them, but to keep us informed, because apparently you really like lists, don't you? I mean, two can play that game, honey.
I mean, I like lists, but I don't like putting people on lists unless it's a list of, you know, like if I'm making a list of like who would be best for a thing, or like a short list of like who, you know, what kind of guests I would want on say here, or, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm not like putting lists of people together, you know, as a registry. Yeah, the only one of those that I'm at all okay with, and I will admit I am 100% okay with, is the sex offender registry.
Yeah, I'm 100% for.
But beyond that, I mean, you know.
I did watch a live stream with Anna. I saw you send a $20 super chat asking if she'd like to, you know, if she'd come on a smaller channel. I thought that was funny. I mean, it's a great point. I mean, I'm not like funny in a bad way, but like, it's just she's like, no, I would need to, you know, kind of like Amanda last night. She's like, I would want to kind of see, you know, some of your content, you know, make sure that it's not something that's like weird. And it's like, yeah, it's like, no, completely understand. Because yeah, Amanda last night, she was you know, beforehand, she's like, no, do you mind, you know, linking to me to, you know, some of your stuff? And I said, no problem. And I sent her the most recent like Friday night's Royal Rumble, and she's like, oh yeah, no problem, you know, because they don't want to walk into a trap. But I thought that was cool. That you know, Anna said, hey, email me. That was cool stuff.
Yeah. No, I think I got an invitation. I haven't answered yet because I was kind of busy.
Yeah, no, that by the way, Amanda last night was awesome.
Oh, she is so funny. You know, and you know, she's somebody who is obviously in the industry. She was honest about the fact that she was a voice actress for anime and for video games, and she lived in LA, and she's like, man, she's like, the people that they're just they're nuts. She's like, I had to get out of there, you know, and it was just yeah. So it was yeah, she told her story a little bit more on Tuesday night's main event a year ago. But yeah,
Yeah, that's I think where I first I'd first heard of
Yeah.
her. As it turns out, I've heard of some of her work. I
Yeah.
just, I
Mhm.
don't follow a lot of voice actors, so and all that. But yeah, no, I was looking at some of her work last night, and after I got home, and then I had a whole other stream I had to deal with, and then late last night I was looking at some of her work, and she's done some interesting stuff. And I have seen her channel before, her comedy that she does on YouTube, and
Mhm.
the woman is hilarious. But what impressed me was her ability to just roll with the hentai jokes.
Mhm.
I mean, she just she just went with it, and I was just like, "Wow, that's awesome."
No, she's super easygoing, which is great. She just wants to, she just wants to entertain and stuff like that. And 20 is 20. I just saw that. And there's a good chance she will be back. She's going to be busy for the next couple of weeks. And we did talk about that previously. But yes, so I told her I would love to have you back, and she was all for it. So maybe the next couple of months or something.
Yeah, no, she was. I did enjoy meeting her. And I apologize again. Like I've been back at work. I'm no longer on vacation, so like I was only able to jump on for a little while.
No, dude, you're good. I really appreciate the fact that you stopped by, because I mean, I wasn't sure if Kat was going to be there, because she, I heard that you'd been sick, and I didn't want to pressure you to be there. So I kind of wanted a little bit of a backup plan. So I appreciate you stopping by, and Alf. And no, it was especially because apparently Alf is one of the ones that memed her while she was on Tuesday night's main event. that made it 10 times better. So I was like, oh, oops. This wasn't intentional.
Yeah. So no, Zaron, I didn't see your question. Let me look for it. Would you all want to see Soviet style military parades, but instead it's a galactic empire with all the true? I mean, no, not really. I'm not much for parades.
Well, also at the same time, like, are we talking about like legitimately in Star Wars?
I think when he says galactic empire, yeah, I mean Star Wars.
Okay, well, yeah, because the the thing is that the Empire is based off of the Third Reich. So I mean that's why they're legitimately called stormtroopers. So I mean, I know obviously there are similarities and stuff like that between the two, but obviously one is a little more evil, I guess, relatively. So yeah, it's I think they do a good job with the Galactic Empire.
That's because you say that, Shadow, because you're more of a Warhammer 40K guy, I think, than a Star Wars guy, and also a budding fascist.
Oh, I just thought it was because he is 19 and he has baby nuts.
Yeah, budding fascist.
Okay, yeah, that's
like
true.
He's
in college, yeah.
Yeah, when those nuts drop, right, the thinking starts.
He's in college right now, so if he wants to sleep with a girl, he's like, yeah, baby, I love socialism. Let me get in those pants. Let me see that fascist pussy.
Till he finds out that there is no. Sorry, I can't.
Look.
Till he finds out there is no pussy.
Look. I'm just saying. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is fucking crazy, but I would fucking rail her all night long.
Yeah, but you can. You're not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying until he finds out that there is no pussy.
No, I know.
There's
You're
Shadow, we're fucking with you. Like we know, kid. No, for those out there who might have taken that seriously, no, Shadow is he does take things too seriously, and he is very much in earnest pretty much all the time, even when he's joking. But he is a good kid, and he doesn't actually mean any real harm to anybody.
He's a little devoid of irony sometimes.
That's what the paper bag is for, Shadow.
Dude, there's a photo going around Twitter where she didn't even have the crazy eyes. She was looking fucking slamming. Let's see if I can find it.
And then she joined the Democrats.
And well, she's always been one of those. Like, but the thing is, though, is that guess what? You know what? If things get a little too intense, just turn her over and put her
Okay.
face in the pillow.
Primal One, are you saying you want to give AOC upgrades?
No, don't do
'Cause
that,
that would be a
Primal.
very bad idea.
What kind of upgrades?
Can you imagine
Cybernetic ones.
Nope, that's not a good idea.
No.
What the hell?
Yeah, he does yap. He yaps a little bit, but that's okay. He's as they say, he might be shadow, but he's our shadow, so hands the fuck off. AFC 2.0. Y'all ever see Cyborg 2?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's the first movie Angelina Jolie ever starred in, and it's technically a sequel, although indirectly connected to the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Cyborg. It's terrible, but John Voight's in it. No. I only mentioned that because I was thinking, like, crazy chick, cybernetic killing machine, that kind of thing. Everybody always thinks Terminator. It's like when they talk about, authoritarians, everybody's go-to is to talk about the Nazis, because it turns out they weren't the only ones doing shit.
No. So, I mean, let's be honest.
See, she looks better when she's smiling than when she's making that O face in the first picture.
Well, you know what? Trust me, she'd get it either fucking direction. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just one weekend, and she's not gonna ever want to leave. That's probably a bad thing because she's kind of crazy, but at the same time,
she'll be chained to the radiator?
No.
No.
Oh, well, if you've seen her boyfriend, dude, she is not getting none from that.
No, but I'm pretty sure his boyfriend is.
Yeah. He gets to save face and be like, "Look, I'm a good woman.
She's a beard.
Mm-hmm.
She is a beard,
But
which is weird because we wouldn't have any fucking idea who that guy was if it wasn't for her. Normally, it's the one that's in the public eye that uses a beard.
Well, I think she's also using a beard at the same time because then she gets to save face and not be considered like this crazy radical feminist where she's like, "Look, I'm in a long-term relationship. I'm doing the civilized woman thing."
But not just with a white guy, but the whitest of white guys.
Oh yeah.
He's a full-on ginger.
Yeah. He's wow.
Figures should go for a soulless one.
I mean, and quite frankly, I guarantee that she probably takes the dildo to his booty hole and not the other way around.
No, Carrie, that was a joke.
No, Carrie, we're not going to chain her to the radiator. I want her to go willingly because then it's something that I get a hold as a trophy the rest of my life.
Look, man, she is an okay looking woman. She has a pretty nice form to her.
I'm not.
I think she's pretty. But I wouldn't call her beautiful.
I'm going to take you guys' word for it. As a straight woman who's not interested in women, no.
I'm not going to say she's a 10. I mean, I would not say that, but for her age and for her, if she doesn't open her fucking mouth, I would probably give her a 7.5. I think that's a decent rating, right? 7.5, somewhere there.
Well, I think a lot of the shit that you see in the see from hers is performance theater anyway. I'd be willing to bet that she's probably a lot more chill in person.
I guarantee it. And quite
she's
frankly,
probably a lot easier to talk to. She knows what she's doing. She's playing to the crowd.
Oh yeah, she's doing what Donald Trump did. She's literally the left's version of Donald Trump. She's good at marketing herself, no matter how fucking ridiculous. And quite frankly, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what bars you're going to, but at a certain point before last call, it doesn't really matter how mid or not mid a bar girl is.
But the thing is also, you have to keep in mind, she's not exactly having the most brained constituents behind her. I mean, come on. We're talking about the people who voted for Fetterman. Okay.
Well, I know, but at the same time, she was a bartender. I guarantee she's used to milking tips out of people, especially men. And like Samuel said, I don't think she's stupid. I mean,
No,
I think
I don't think she's stupid at all. I think that she
I mean, because quite frankly, how many of her actual takes have gone anywhere? Oh, zero. So, I
right,
think
but at the same
she's
time, she come out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden, now she's worth quite a bit of money,
Mhm.
and I think that that is in large part due to her playing to the crowd. It's because
Yep.
she's very good at playing to the crowd, and it's a skill. And she, congratulations, the Champagne Socialist has capitalized on her skill like a
Mhm.
good capitalist would. I
Yep.
have no issue with that, by the way. I just, I'm not signing up for the squad's like agenda.
No, I absolutely can't stand her takes, but at the same time, I think I'm a grown enough adult that I realize that she's putting on an act.
Mhm.
And many politicians have done that for years. So
Yeah.
I'd still lick her butthole.
See, in Shadow, I don't think that she actually is like that's not something that necessarily she does in her own time, but she understands who her constituents are, who her future constituents are going to be, and she's engaging with them in ways that old school politicians are not. And that's why she's still in fucking office, by the way.
Mhm.
Because she's smart about it, and she's going after people your age who don't know any fucking better, but think they
Yep.
do. That's fair enough.
I saw that one. I know it's supposed. I know I heard it's supposed to be like a fake, but it's just like, dude, I don't know. I'd eat her ass.
What?
I
I'll eat your ass.
You go ahead. You do you, but
Dude,
you know what?
I would munch on her fucking rear end all day.
My only worry for you is that she suddenly turns around and goes, "Yeah, I did. He did it against my will because you know what climate we live
Oh
in."
no! I guarantee that chick. She's like a priest daughter. She wants it from because she likes that fucking thrill. I guarantee it.
Oh wow.
She seeks the attention. She wants that crap. Yeah. Conservatives just want to date me. Yeah, you want them to.
Yeah,
Because
conservatives are real men.
that's exciting to her.
Yeah,
I ain't feeding the fucking stereotype, dude. She wants Republicans to want to date her. She's not stupid.
I mean, how else are they gonna sign up for her shtick?
I guarantee her stupid ass is probably gone to a country bar in a fucking rural town and got fucking plowed more than once since she's been in office.
It's possible, sure.
I don't know. I feel like she's the type who also would, after the fact, be like, "Oh my God, what did I do? I slept with a Republican. Oh my God, he did it against my will. Oh my God," and ruin your life just because.
Wait, there is a chance that we're all very wrong about this, and that she's a very chaste and pure woman. But she could
Yeah.
also just as easily have vagina dentata, which would be, why the gay ginger, because she can't. Otherwise, she will, chew it off.
I mean, it's possible.
It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's like we don't know.
I'm just saying, as a willing and very, very open person about everybody's opinions, and I would take the bullet for that. I will jump on the can grenade. Just let me know.
All right, but if she chews your dick off with her lady parts,
I didn't say I was gonna let her do that.
I mean, just like you need to go watch the movie Teeth.
Oh, I know about the fucking movie Teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Like, you don't know.
And I think I know what you mean by the movie Teeth.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's there is the movie was exaggerated and made out to be like a horror kind of thing, but vagina dentata is an actual thing that does happen. It does exist. It's just very, very rare where a tooth or tooth-like object grows in that region.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's usually just the one though too, and they are easily removed generally. But
I was gonna say they probably could find a way to solve that.
But in the movie, she had a mouthful of them down there, and they were all like fangs, and she just So I mean, Yeah, it's. I'm not going to go too much into that movie because it is super fucked up.
Yeah, it really is.
Really?
That's not even the most fucked up thing about the movie. It's pretty messed up.
Well, you gave us some interesting forms of hentai yesterday. I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, that was on Ryan's channel. My mom doesn't watch Ryan's channel.
Your mom watches this channel?
Oh dear God!
Jesus, mother of God!
Yeah,
Your mom is watching us right now.
I don't know if she is or not, but she has yelled at me recently, both about my behavior and certain things said by certain panelists.
Am I one of them?
Yep.
Am I one of them?
Not so much. She really likes you, Kat.
She likes me. Ha ha. Hi, Samuel's mom.
She
I'm
likes
the
you
favorite,
too,
right?
Ryan. She's just like, you gotta tell them they can't. They gotta stop saying such vulgar things. And I'm like, but Mom, I'm saying the vulgar things too. She's like, I know. Stop it.
Like much like I said about AOC and what I do to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not going to go over real good.
Oh, that reminds me.
Well, I'm just
I
waiting
gotta
for
let
people
her
to
know
get their.
not to watch this one.
I'm just waiting for people.
That's going to make her watch it.
Carrie, she knows who you are.
Oh,
She knows who you are because she watches Amira too.
I'm just waiting for that live stream where I ranted to where I was like pointing out all the inconsistencies to get noticed by the wrong people.
I'm sorry, Mama Infamous. My apologies. I just, AOC looks nice, and I'd like to get to know her.
It's fine. I just my issue is that I used to give her a heads up, like, don't watch this one. You're not going to like this one. And then I stopped doing that for some reason. And so she's walked into a couple of conversations that she was not prepared for or happy about.
The irony is that pretty much nobody in my family watches my content. I think my nephew might tune in every once in a great while, but I wasn't doing enough gaming for his taste. And what's kind of funny is that he wanted me to play Fortnite for the longest time, and it wasn't until they implemented that no build crap, which I don't understand building in the first place. I was just like, I don't understand, but it's just like run around the world and shoot each other. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. I started playing it, and I don't think he watched me anymore before that. So it was anyway. But yeah, none of my family watches what I fucking do. They have no idea.
I think my brother sometimes does because he pointed out at one point that he doesn't get any alerts anymore on my live stream, on any of my content, and it's like that's why I've been pointing out. I'm like, hey, is anyone getting alerts? Because
one of your brothers was on one of your live streams.
Yeah,
briefly,
my
wasn't he?
brother Almar, we were playing Warframe recently. He was on it. I'm trying to get my brothers involved because they're more interesting than me. Me, I just get mad and rant, and then get mad and rant, and
Yeah, they're definitely the ones who racked up 7,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Just get mad.
People find you interesting.
I'm about to say you have more subscribers than all of us. So it's like
I don't know why.
I know why because you're an honest person, even though
Which is a problem. That's not good.
Not really. That's actually preferable.
Live streaming and I made a disaster of my attempts at combat in this with the Hogwarts game. Oh my god! I spent like an hour trying to beat this stupid duel, and it was just drove me because I'm playing on PlayStation and I can't use the stupid PlayStation controller because I play on Xbox.
I have a question. How are the graphics on PlayStation?
Pretty good. The thing is, I'm also playing. I'm not playing on a 4K monitor. I'm playing on a 1080p monitor. So
okay, well, no, I am too. So I mean, I know that my computer in front of me is a couple years old. And because I have to use Steam, unfortunately, I don't. For some reason, OBS stopped working with this computer. I don't know why. So I've been using Steam, and I noticed that a game that's higher in quality, it makes Steam lag out because it's more to try to to decipher. So like even Hogwarts Legacy, I'm playing on medium at highest because I don't think it could handle doing high quality settings. And quite frankly, it's like somebody watching on their phone and they're really gonna be able to tell the difference.
No.
So
but
it
looks good. It looks good. The game itself is beautiful. Keep in mind. I mean, other than the fact that all the women don't have boobs.
I was playing that game that's still really popular about World War II called Hell Let Loose, and I can play that game on like really high settings, and I noticed that I was getting lag, and I was like, it's getting spotty, and I didn't like it, so I downgraded it. And I saw a little bit of choppiness, and I asked somebody in the chat. It was JT Gunn was in the chat at the time. I was like, does this look choppy at all to you guys? And he's like, no, it doesn't look choppy. And I was like, okay, but yeah, like high frame rate. Yeah, it looked choppier because StreamYards is kind of a slug. So,
oh my god, the number of ads I get for StreamYard is insane.
I think StreamYard is great for a bunch of people just talking shit, discussing things, but when it comes to gameplay, it's a little rough. I used to use OBS.
I'm using Streamlabs OBS.
So I might need to find something a little bit different to play games at a higher quality rate, because it's not necessarily going to bother me, but at the same time, some people will be like, oh, dude, kind of looks like crap. I mean, if they played on like a TV or something, be like, looks a little rough, and it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, my hardware is fine. It's the software, you're limited. Of course, what was weird last night, my computer's like wigging out, and I was like, man, if this thing like dies, I'm gonna have to go buy a new one, and now it's fine. It's so weird. I did that update, and like the GPU fan was like running it at a higher, like a moderate. It wasn't like high, because like when a GPU is really like struggling. Yeah. I was like, it was like moderately clocking, and I'm like, this is different. I figured it was just
maybe it needs to be cleaned out. I'm no expert.
That's what I was thinking. It did stop doing it, but yeah, because it also is like 5 years old. I bought it back in like 2018, and back then it's fucking RTX, all that stuff, back when they're RTXs are still really big now, but we're not talking about like 4090 or 3070.
God, I remember Windows 7.
I don't think I ever had Windows 7. I had Windows 98, then Windows Vista. Then I had Windows
XP.
Yeah, XP was before XP, then Vista, and then I think I skipped straight to because I had that computer for so damn long. I skipped straight to 10. But this was before I was streaming. Like, all my computers I've had after the fact where I've been doing YouTube shit and gaming has all been like Windows 10 and above. Like this one's Windows 11, but this one's just out of the realm of the requirements for Windows 11. So it's just like missed by that much. I'm like, well, you can update certain drivers to get Windows
11. Don't go to Windows 11. I have my desktop.
I already went to Windows 11 on this one, so
yeah, my laptop has Windows 11, and I hate it. I'm on Windows 10 still. For some odd reason, even though my desktop is newer than my laptop, my desktop, it has a 6800 XT. Why isn't Windows? It's like something about it's just. I'm like, good. I don't want Windows 11.
Yeah.
See, I've got 10, and I hate it. And it keeps trying to force me to get 11, and I'm not playing that stupid game, Microsoft. You hear me, Bill Gates? Fuck you. I don't want your stupid Windows 11. Fuck you.
Well, the only reason I updated to Windows 11 because I was like, okay, if I'm going to be playing higher games with higher gaming processes and stuff like that, going forward, I was like, I'm probably going to need it.
Yeah, we use Windows 11 at work. It's garbage.
I'm not a huge fan. No, you're right. I prefer Windows 10. But I still probably stand by the fact that, who knows, maybe Hogwarts Legacy wouldn't play as well on 10. I don't know.
No, look, as someone who uses Windows 10 on my desktop, okay, I'm not playing Hogwarts Legacy right now on my desktop. I haven't even installed it yet. I plan to. I have not had a single problem.
What's your graphics card?
6800 XT AMD. That was the only thing I could get.
1600 AMD. You might have an issue. The requirements for Hogwarts Legacy are way high.
Yeah, but that's like a year old.
Is it? I've never used an AMD graphics card.
1600.
Wait, no, I'm lying. What the hell am I talking about? Hold on, 1600 AMD. No, yeah, I was thinking of something else. My apologies. Yeah. You should be okay.
No, and in fact, it was a $3,500 computer. So my
Yeah, no, you should be. No,
Yeah.
I was thinking of something different. No,
I
I
had
have an
a
AMD
yeah.
RTX in this one, and I have an Nvidia in this one. But this one's more powerful than this one because obviously it's newer. So,
So when I got it, I had a 2080 in my desktop, and then I think the hard drive fried. I don't know how. I don't know what happened. And so when I took it in for the warranty, they were like, "Yeah, we don't send these out for repair because it has a glass screen." So they're like, "Okay, here's $2,000 in credit." I'm
yeah,
like, "Sweet!" And then I go to buy a new computer. I'm like, "Joe Biden, I love you
yeah,
so much, and your inflation, I had to fork over another $1,500 to get." And you couldn't get at the time. This was when computers were impossible to get. I had the choice between a 2070 Ti. No, not even a 2070. No, I think it was 2060 or a 3090 for like $5,000. I'm like, yeah, there's no way in hell I can afford that.
yeah.
So
No, if this one doesn't crash, I'm probably gonna look at replacing because this is an MSI, which MSI are really good gaming computers. I'm gonna look at replacing the graphics card. I don't think I'll get like I might get a 3070, kind of like 3070 Ti like Gary has or something. But because they just came into stock recently. Sorry, we're talking about nerd shit. Samuel, do you have any idea what the fuck we're talking about?
We're nerds.
Yeah, as far as like graphics cards and all that shit goes, no, I don't. Also, apparently, Canada shot down another spy balloon a couple hours ago.
Wow, if Canada took action, interesting.
Canada can take action.
Well, I guess
Well,
apparently.
no. See, Trudeau doesn't want to get rid of all the guns in Canada. He just wants to get rid of all the guns in the hands of the
That's
people
true.
in Canada. He's
thought that-
perfectly fine with the government having them.
No, but I thought Canada. He was just waiting for any excuse for China to invade and take over. So the moment a balloon flies over Canada, he'd be like, "Oh, we can't fight him. It's China. No, it's China. It's a balloon from China. We surrender to China." Kind of thing. You'd be like, the excuse he needs to just be like, "We surrender, China. Please don't hurt us."
No, he's not going to surrender to China. The China's at odds with his master.
Muggsy kids to say go for a 4080.
I don't think I can put a 4080
That's
in
the thing. It's
this.
a big card.
It's
I've
a
seen them.
big ass fucking card.
Yeah.
Now, if this one dies, because it's old, I mean, in gaming years, a computer that's 5 years old is probably not going to last much longer, right?
No.
So it probably has another year at best. If it dies, I'll use this one to stream, and I'll go buy one that has like a fucking something. I'll just be like, dude, shell out the cash. Let's just do it. I got the money. It's like I wouldn't want to if I don't need to, because to me it's like Primal one. Do it, Ryan.
Just go.
They want you to turn your PC into that speaker setup from the beginning of Back to the Future.
Just do it. Don't think.
Rock and roll.
See, you know what's funny though too is that at the same time you have to have the hardware to be able to capture that kind of technology, because if you're going to go 4K, which 4K is gorgeous, I've seen it, I've played it, but I don't stream it, right? And YouTube is not even necessarily equipped for 4K. It's barely equipped for 4K. You get a lot of screen tearing. Shadow says, "Yeah, Ryan, Christianize all the kingdoms." What? I don't understand that. Primal, make your dreams come true. I kind of feel like that's a Jiminy Cricket moment. Like it's like, make all your dreams come true, but just let your conscience be your guide.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see how the old workhorse is doing. If it dies, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm just gonna fucking like drop it off at a Best Buy for parts. Recycle it, repart it. I mean, I've beaten the hell out of it. I played I beta tested and alpha tested and Amazon's A New World with this one. I didn't even have this one at the time, and it's like, so I got a shitload of use out of it. And it's I like AMD. I think they got good products. I'm a little bit more of an Nvidia kind of guy. I always have been. Because I like the Nvidia update better, the GeForce experience.
Yeah.
Nvidia has their, what is it called? The AMD Radeon software. Basically, it's an update they don't update as often as it seems like Nvidia does.
Yeah.
I got an update for this computer right before Hogwarts Legacy dropped, like the day before. This hasn't been updated in like a month and a half, and I'm like,
well, I mean, I am AMD by force. Like I said, this was back when computers were nearly impossible to get. It took me 2 weeks to get this computer just shipped to the store for me to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because this was, when you would walk into a store and there were no computers available. And I said it was either this or go for like the 2070 or go for 3090 for 5,000. So I'm AMD by force. My laptop does have an Nvidia card in it, so
you says I know how Ryan feels if this one starts dying proper. I'm going to buy a whole new. Yeah, it's not worth saving. It's not the same way as parting out a computer. I don't necessarily just yet have the setup for that. I don't have the office for that. I want to wait till I get a little farther down the road because I'm not making obviously as much money on YouTube as some others that do.
Hey, I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll get $20. If I'm lucky.
I
agree with Muggsykins. The problem is Muggsykins, the first PC I bought, the first desktop I bought, I didn't have enough experience to build my own. I didn't know anything about it, so I bought a pre-built. The problem is, like I said, the hardware, the hard drive basically fried. So I took it to the store, and I was given $2,000 in store credit. And this was when you couldn't get anything. You couldn't get parts, no, nothing. So I had $2,000 in store credit, no desktop computer. I was like desperate. So now I want to build my own computer, but at the time, I mean, what am I going to do with $2,000 in store credit from a store that sells pre-builds?
Yeah, and Muggsy, not. I mean, there's a reason I'm running on a shitty $200 fucking laptop at that. Like, not all of us have the luxury.
Wait, you have a $200 laptop?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's technically it's a little bit bigger than a notebook, but not much.
As for what Muggsykins says, I know how to build a PC. It's a matter of space as at this current moment, and running a 2-computer system that also gives you less space unless you have a large office, because you're literally talking about building 2 separate towers. And you're talking about you're going to have like a standard size, a monitor. You're going to want to be able to, it's more about space than it is resources.
Yeah.
And
well,
you can,
in my case, it's resources, but yeah, it's like, I just don't have the funds to be throwing at equipment like that. Like my microphone costs more than my fucking laptop does.
Samuel, I'm going to put a comment in the private chat. Don't read it out loud.
Okay. So, but that's I certainly can't hire somebody to build a PC for me.
I mean, I could, like I said, I could absolutely do it if I had the space and the time. But as of right now, it's not feasible. This is not a full-time job. If it was a full-time job, it would be very different. I would build that damn thing on the side, and then as soon as I'm done with it, like I would throw it into place. And I still have a 2-computer system, because I don't like bogging down one computer with gameplay and streaming. I know there are computers that can handle it, but I feel like that's more of a hassle than the machine needs to be. I want to worry about one machine gaming, nothing but the game, the other one streaming, nothing but the stream. I can bounce back and forth, and it makes it 10 times easier.
Well,
that's wild, Samuel. What you put
yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, it's just it's a fact of life in the boonies.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The funny thing is people talk about how they want to make YouTube a career, and honestly, the only reason I want people to notice the content I make is just because I've said this before, given what I am, I can get away with saying stuff that, breaking narratives, but honestly, YouTube was never. I mean, I find it interesting to listen to you guys talking about, growth and, and it's like, for me, as I said, it felt like a moral responsibility. Some kind of like, I like gaming. And so they assumed that people like me would go along with the narrative. So it's like, I want to be noticed just so I could be like, well, you're wrong, because I'm a woman and I don't agree. Break the narratives. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be a celebrity. Honestly, I like playing video games mostly, So it's like, but on the other hand, it's like I need to get noticed so people can be like, yeah, you got a little Muslim woman who thinks you're full of shit. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Well, that's fair. You know, and it's like I have a day job, same as you. You know, and that's my job. This is something I do because I want to.
I'm, you know, and I kind of understand that. I don't necessarily, I mean, maybe, I would like to make YouTube definitely like a side job to where it pays very well. I
Yeah,
don't
dude,
need,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't,
say no to money, but you know, like I'm
yeah,
not quitting my job over it either.
No,
uh,
but like I said, I feel like I have a responsibility because again, how many people like me are out there going, I hate the woke, I hate the SJWs. You know, I notice when I argue with people about Hogwarts Legacy, immediately they almost when I'm like, yeah, all that talk about hate you're talking about, you don't know anything about hate because I've actually experienced real hate and people kind of maybe because I've been lucky and noticed that nobody has really noticed me and I've been under the radar. But there are times where like, yeah, she's a woman and a minority. What are you talking about? So I feel like you can't come at me with the same attacks like you can use against Ryan, Cannell, or you guys. So as much as you have no idea how uncomfortable all of this. I'm an introvert. So I leave these live streams. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? I hope they're not mad at me. I hope they invite me next week. I hope I don't suddenly get totally knocked out because I was a total idiot this week.
oh, I mean, I mean, shit. I think most of us have probably at some point said something that might be slightly controversial on a live stream, or maybe even something to be considered a little bit of like a gamer word, like you know, the maggot word or something. You know, and so it's just, you know, that's unfortunately, I'm gonna say this. It's human nature, and quite frankly, you know, we're all going to have regrets. We're all going to have moments of like, you know, hey, maybe I said something stupid or something like that. You just can't let it get you down. If you fucked up in some way, be like, hey, yeah, I fucked up. But you know what? It was a bad moment. We've all had low moments. I'm moving on, and I hope you guys can move on with me and let's have some fun. And but this whole groveling thing, like, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. It's just like, and just like, dude, you can eat a bag of assholes. Like if you expect me to grovel at your feet for forgiveness, you can fuck right the hell off. I did see I did want to address what Mugsykin says. She said you know, then use a Corsair Obsidian Series 1000D case. Yeah, I know. I've heard of that. You know, you can actually yeah, it's a large enough case. And that might be actually something that I do in the future, but the thing is that I'm going to be moving in about a month and a half, and I don't want to haul around a lot of crap, if that makes sense. The setup I have right now, and so every time you change your setup too, nothing works right the way it used to, which is super fucking annoying. So like when my old live stream computer died, and I took the gaming one that I had, and then I bought the new gaming one, you know, making it the priority, and then of course this one, you know, back secondary. The setup was completely different. It didn't work the same ever again. I tried setting it up that way and it didn't work. It just didn't read the same way. So, I mean, it's one of those things. Once I get set up back where I'm moving home, moving back to Colorado, eventually, yeah, I probably will do something like that and just build something from the ground up myself. You know, I know some streamers like, hey, you know, look into water cooling. I don't want to do that. That's like a whole pump system crap like that. I mean, obviously, it's going to make the system run cooler, but it's also at the
No,
same time
Mugsy
you're
was saying the opposite. Mugsy was saying the opposite. You don't want to go with because I have a water cooler in mine right now, and she was saying that don't go for the water cooler.
No, you don't. I don't want it because you're looking at a whole host of problems. Like if you have a leak, like you have a real problem. And so it's you know, I think it's just I don't think that's optimal. It'll be a slow process. I'll just say that. But yeah, no, I agree. No water coolers. Um, you know, so it just, you know, when you get a machine that's overclocked and stuff like that, it's going to make a lot of noise. It's also about the fact that, you know, the graphics card, you know, you've seen videos of graphics cards going up in flames because they're running too hot. And so No, I know that water cooling was all the big rage for a long time. Probably, I don't know, like what, 4 years ago or some shit like that. It's never been something I'd want to do because it leaks, and electricity and water don't mix.
No, I want to build my own
Mi-
computer one of these
I
days.
didn't know mineral oil cooling is a thing.
I didn't
I
know
don't think
that
I'd
either.
want to do that either because it's going to
Yeah.
leak. I think that would be almost as bad, even worse than water, because water is easier to clean up than oil.
Yeah.
I've never heard of oil cooling. I mean, I know obviously for a car, but I think fan, a good fan system is the best way to go. Samuel, why are you in Mag's chat?
I just said hello because she's running her stream now. That's all I said was hey.
I don't know, Shadow. Why are you in her chat? Are you simping over there?
Mag. Shadow, man.
There's a bunch of people in her chat. Michelle's over there, JV's over there, and I said that I would say hello, and so I have. So
Is she live streaming Hogwarts or what is she doing?
now she's just having a chat with the chat.
See, there you go. We got Larry right there. Mine is fan and water cooled. So just prove don't listen to black people. I'm just I'm just kidding. Larry's not here. We miss him. Larry's a great guy. I want to get him on Friday night, but his handler will not release him just yet. I have to fight with her.
Speaking of which, for those of you who are interested and who missed it last night, the Exiled Lioness returned to YouTube by streaming. Her suspension is up, and I believe she's planning another stream tonight on her new channel. You can find the information for that in one of my recent community tab posts if you're interested.
Did you see what Larry said?
Yeah. I was like, I didn't see, you know what, Larry? I didn't see you in the chat for Royal Rumble yesterday too much, but just so you know, I was first.
Yeah, he was in the chat last night. I actually didn't see that he was first tonight. I was kind of wondering about that. So I'm kind of thinking
Well,
that
he was. He sent me screenshots. He put first when it like about 3 seconds after the stream went up on YouTube. So
God, he's such a homo.
But no, I was first to Royal Rumble by about 18 hours.
Dear God, you guys are nuts. You know, I actually have a job and a life and
I had a job. I just haven't been there in a few months. And it's like, because I'm okay. I'm moving. I was like, I could get a part-time job until I move, or I could just I could hang out and work on YouTube content.
Yeah, Larry,
further that.
Your PC might be the beastiest of the beasties, but it looks like your caps lock button's stuck.
fucking old man.
All right. Yeah.
But 18 hours? That's just nuts.
Well, I saw the post right after Ryan put it up, and I was just like, I'm gonna jump in there to fuck with Larry, and I put first, and then I screenshot it and sent it to Ryan.
I was about to say, I saw Samuel saying first, so Larry, and that was like 5 hours beforehand. That was like way in advance. So I don't know. Your story's flimsy, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not even gonna. You know what? The earlier you are, the more it proves to me you have absolutely no life. Guys, why aren't you at my live stream first, huh? Why aren't you at my live stream? Huh? Didn't see any of you on my live stream.
That's true. I stopped in right after you started your live stream and said hello, and then I went and took a nap for 3 hours.
I've stopped in your fucking chat and said hi, and usually that cat loves Velma. So how the fuck do you miss me?
I told you we love Velma for target practice. She's a great target. She runs and squeals. It's a lot of fun to chase her down with our Plinkses and our Supras and sell her organs on the market.
How would you know what my dick and balls are like?
No comment. You don't want to know.
You're a married man, sir. Is there something we need to talk about?
No. Everything about this is just,
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you.
Oh,
You didn't.
wow.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I feel
Nice
hurt
going after
now.
my tentacles.
I like how Larry is through typing playing into the angry black man trope like right
He does
now.
that so well.
Yeah.
He's that, and folks, just for the record, I'm sure most of you know this, but for those of you out there in YouTube land who take this kind of thing too seriously, we are fucking with each other. We're all friends. And
Yeah.
Larry has probably the best sense of humor among us.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
probably better than mine. I gotta learn how to relax.
It's at least considerably less dirty than mine is.
Larry says I'll throw a watermelon at you.
For example.
Dude, hey, you're bringing the
Oh,
water.
we're ready.
If you're bringing the watermelon, I'll bring the fried chicken. Let's have a party.
I got
Oh,
some
yeah.
great drink.
I got
Do it.
you know what I'm talking about too. I grew up poor. There's a difference between like fucking grape
You had
Kool-Aid.
orange drink and you had
Yeah,
grape drink.
and then that thing that came in the plastic bottle with the fucking film, the fucking foil top over it. Yeah. that
Oh
was
yes,
great.
they used to take that to the mosque.
Yeah.
It was, they wanted it to be cheap at the
It was
mosque.
Nothing but straight up sugar. That's grape drink right there. They had green and orange and purple, and that was straight up.
Hey, I agree with you. After all those comments, Shadow, about wanting to eat corpus, I'm totally with eating Shadow. Let's do it. He tastes like chicken.
Solange, I remember those. I think if you grew up fucking poor, you remember those. Speaking of growing up poor, like Kool-Aid was like the step up. Do they still have those fucking Kool-Aid packets, like the individual ones?
Oh yeah. You can still buy those. They're like 3 cents a piece. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe those are still around.
So hey, Shadow, what you're saying then is that you're scary but ultimately impotent? Because that's what I'm getting from the whole bird shadow thing. It's the bird that's scary, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's true, Shadow.
I'm about to say hawks are pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
brother.
you can't eat
Shadowhawk.
the hawk Shadow.
Hey, Shadowhawk, I'm gonna eat you wings first. And I got plenty of Kool-Aid in my cupboard to wash you down.
Shadow backing off already. He's like, hey, Larry.
Oh, Sunny D. I remember Sunny D too. I remember the commercials for Sunny D.
Dude, yeah. Fucking Sunny D. And dude, if you got Sunny D instead of the fucking frozen like orange juice concentrate that you'd freeze, yeah.
Sunny D was for rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost never got that.
Yeah, I would get it like, friends' houses and stuff. We never had fucking Sunny D in my refrigerator. We always had that fucking shit that you would stir water in. It's frozen.
Oh yeah, the stuff that was frozen.
Yeah.
And then you had to. Yeah, we used to always have that stuff.
Yeah, dude, I grew up poor as shit.
I'm
fucking
gonna go Hannibal Lecter on Shadow Pup. Hey, babe, do me a favor. Hey, go to the cabinet and get out the nutmeg, the cumin, the turmeric. Get all the spices out.
We cooking up a fucking
Every
bird.
last spice we got.
They're all on the counter.
They're all on the counter. Oh shoot, they are on the counter.
Why?
Because he's gonna eat Shadow's ass.
We finna eat.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
What?
Because you're gonna eat Shadow's ass.
No, you can't do that. Your tentacles are already up there.
Oh.
So you get a little surf and turf.
Oh. Stop. That is so terrible.
I don't eat chocolate mousse for dessert, so that you go ahead and have that.
Oh, that is horrendous.
Oh, that is so wrong.
Yeah, Alex Jones, I'll eat your ass.
What's up? Hey, by the way, if you have not seen it, so Caucasian Sasquatch did a thing a little while ago. You guys know who Ray Stevens is, right?
No.
Mm-mm.
He sounds
Okay, so
familiar.
he did a bunch of very popular songs way back in the day, like let me double check, make sure I'm talking about the right guy. Yeah, like the Streak and Blue Cyclone, and you guys know all these songs?
Yeah.
It's fucking Americana, guys.
Yeah, well, you're talking about someone whose family are immigrants, so
Yeah, but you're not.
oh, but who teaches you about Americana?
So, well, yeah, to be fair, yes, it was my parents. But he did a song called the Mississippi Squirrel Revival, which was about a Southern Baptist revival tent, church. And a squirrel gets loose in there and makes all the ladies like jump up like you're saying hallelujah, but they're really just jumping up because a squirrel had started. And it's a hilarious song. Anyway, so Sasquatch did that song, but he did it in the voice of Alex Jones, and it is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I want to see that.
Oh no.
It is one of the great things on YouTube, in my opinion.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Turn the squirrels gay.
Yeah. They're turning the frogs gay. Fucking what was wild too is that they were fucking turning the frogs fucking like different sexes or something like that. They were
disgusting.
He wasn't fucking far off.
No, and honestly, the more I hear about things, the more I realize that he's been right about a lot of stuff, and stuff that I was like, no, there's no way he's gonna be right about that. Like a lot of stuff going on these days with the kids. Like, he was right.
I love seeing him on Rogan, man, because they fact check him in real time, and then all of a sudden Joe Rogan will be like, "Holy shit!" Like just like shocked, and it's like, yeah, from the 1960s. It's like this fucking experiment on this, and you're like, "Holy fuck!"
He knows what he's talking about. I get he was right about a lot of stuff, and right now with all the other stuff going on, it's like, damn, the guy is just right over and over again.
I think Shadow is just excited for the alien invasion because he wants to get probed. He's like, my holes are available, guys.
Oh, we know. I got stuffing and everything. I got everything ready.
I got yeah. I think I got his permission to share this a while back. If not, dude, yell at me later and I will take it down. But this is the thing that Squatch did. I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive he told me I could use this.
No, Shadow, that's cannibalism.
All right. Oh, let me actually, I got to pull that down real quick. Let me double check and make sure that I got the sound on. Okay. There we go. All right. Should we wait for Ryan? I don't know if he wants to miss any of this. Are we all still here? Am I only
talking? I'm
here.
Oh, okay.
I'm just waiting.
It's like everything got so quiet. Of course,
Although I'm curious to see this.
Let me guess. Let me guess. This is a cocaine bear is going to come out of nowhere and scare us.
No, it has nothing to do with Cocaine Bear. Yeah, Carrie, I'm pretty sure that I got his permission on another live stream to use it.
Speaking of Cocaine Bear, I want to see that shit. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the
I want a video game based on it. Someone was saying in my live stream earlier. I don't remember who it was about a Cocaine Bear video game. That would be
probably
fun.
going to be the bear.
Hey, you get to play as the bear and you get to maul everybody. It would be rated M for mauling.
But you have to constantly sniff the cocaine to keep from dying.
That would be sweet.
Shadow, nobody wants to know what the fox says. All right, that's dead. Leave it where it is.
So let's check this out. I think you guys are going to enjoy this, courtesy of Caucasian Sasquatch, and I will make sure that the link is in the description.
Oh, Lorenzo, give me a cup of coffee and a couple of those power bars. Dear God, I think they're turning all the squirrels gay. Oh, I'll tell you a story. It's a little story from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'd take a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny in her antebellum world. Oh, I'd run barefooted all day long, climbing trees free as a song. And one day, I happened to catch myself a squirrel. I stuffed him down in an old shoebox and I punched a couple of holes in the top. And when Sunday came, I snuck him into church. I was sitting way back in the very last pew. I was showing him to my good buddy Hugh when that squirrel got loose and it went totally berserk. Well, What happened next was hard to tell. Some thought it was heaven and others thought it was hell, but the fact that something was among us was plain to see. Oh, as the choir sang, I surrender all, the squirrel ran up Harv Newman's coveralls, and the squirrel jumped to his feet and said, something got a hold on me. Yo! The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in a sleepy little town of Pascagoula. Oh, it was a fight for survival. It broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. Well, Harv hit the aisles dancing and screaming. Some thought he had religion. Others thought he had a demon. And Harv thought he had a weed eater loose in his fruited looms. He fell to his knees to plead and beg, and the squirrel ran out of his breeches leg unobserved to the other side of the room. Oh, all the way down to the amen pew where sat Sister Bertha, better than you, who'd sat watching all the commotion with sadistic glee. But you should have seen the look in her eyes when that squirrel jumped her garters and crossed her thighs, and she jumped to her feet and said, Lord, have mercy on me. Well, as the squirrel made laps inside her dress, she began to cry and then to confess sins that would make a sailor blush with shame. She told of gossip and church dissension, but the thing that got the most attention was when she talked about her love life, and then she started naming names. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church of that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival, and it broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. Well, 7 deacons and the pastor got saved, and $25,000 got raised, and 50 volunteered for missions in the Congo on the spot. And even without an invitation, there were at least 500 rededications, and we all got rebaptized, whether we needed it or not. Now, you've heard the stories of Moses, I guess, how he parted the waters for Moses to pass, and all the miracles God has wrought in this old world. Well, the one that I'll remember to my dying day is how he put that church back on a narrow way with a half-crazed Mississippi squirrel.
It's catchy as hell, too.
It really is. And it's higher quality content than I make.
Yes, they were jumping pews and they were shouting hallelujah. For all the gay squirrels, those poor bastards.
All the gay squirrels were.
Is this a trailer for Crystal Meth Squirrel or?
That is awesome.
You need to give him props from all of us because that was really good, and it's definitely higher quality content than I make. I can't even lie about that.
Yeah, I definitely will. That is for those unaware, that is Caucasian Sasquatch. You can find that on his channel. He's into some weird shit, but he's an interesting guy.
I mean, that's creative as fuck because, quite frankly, look, I'll say this. I'm creative in probably a very different way, but when it comes, maybe thoughts and like, dissecting stuff and history and, thinking about things like we've talked about earlier tonight, but I'm not creative in the sense that I can't create a work of art. I can't make up a song on command like that. I just can't do it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that.
You know what I've been trying to convince him to do since he showed me that? I've been trying to convince him to do the song Barbie Girl by Aqua, but in the voice of Eeyore.
Lord.
But in the voice of Eeyore.
No, I don't even want to think about that.
I don't even want to think about that. I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah, something like that.
Really, what if he did it in the voice of Alex Jones? I'm a Barbie girl.
See, the Eeyore thing makes it like really dark.
True, but at the same time, like if he did Alex Jones, it would make it like so ridiculously funny. And he's got a good Alex Jones voice. I got to be honest. Like that's what
Alex Jones voice.
He does.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice for radio. No, he does. And his live streams are actually they tend to be a lot of fun. They're pretty chill for the most part, but yeah, they tend to be a lot of fun. A lot less hectic than some of the ones over here.
Wait. Are you telling me that he doesn't argue with the chats?
No, he does not.
I had to make a joke.
I need to learn to not argue.
I was telling Kat woosah. And then all of a sudden, that's all right. You know what? Sometimes a little bit of good debate lets you know you're still alive. You know, and that's a legitimate point too. Like, you know, the whole entire shit with Twitter. Like, look, you know, I think it's fun to you know, talk to people on Twitter because some people just are perpetually mad all the time, and you just laugh at them. And at least I do. You know, but when legitimately you want like a conversation with those Deutsch bags that I was trying to be like, hey, look, you guys don't agree with me, I don't agree with you, but we can have a civilized conversation, right? But the problem was that he's like, well, you're being a fucking piece of shit on Twitter. I'm like, well, you started, dude. Like, you were one calling people names, saying, oh, you guys are racist and bigots if you think this crap or if you don't like this character. And I'm like, that's a serious accusation. How are you going to have an open discussion with somebody starting out saying, well, if you don't like Miles Morales, that's probably because you're racist. Like,
yeah.
Well, what didn't you like about Miles Morales? He's not Peter Parker. Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Derivative as hell.
Yeah, he's a giant derivative, and every other one included with that is a giant derivative of Spot. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Steve Rogers is Captain America.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson is the Falcon.
T'Challa is Captain Africa. I mean, that's what I call a Black Panther. I call him Captain Africa. But,
you're the only one.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, that's basically what he is. He's the African counterpart to Captain America.
Well, look at it this way. Shuri is not Black Panther. They're like, well, yes, she is. She's Black Panther now. Shuri is not Black Panther. T'Challa is Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Shuri like that Amazon app, you know, where you talk or something like that, or is there something else?
No, Shadow. Hal Jordan is Green Lantern.
Yeah, Hal Jordan.
Yeah, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. So
Unless you're an Alan Scott guy.
I'm just saying, it's like, you know, I tried to talk to these dudes and like, yeah, the one blocked me because he's like, well, you're being a piece of shit. And I was like, well, all I did was call you a loser. I was like, loser. And that was it with a period, because you had already made the comment that, you know, anybody who's been hurt by other people's opinions, reach out to us and we'll talk to you about it. It's like, what is this, therapy? It's a goddamn movie. What are you, high?
Yeah.
Get out of here. It's like, I'm sorry. So it's like, yeah, you can't have a conversation with those people, but like actual conversation is good.
In his defense, yes, he was high. Where do you think Cocaine Bear is getting his supply from?
No, but sometimes,
Cocaine Bear.
Sometimes it's like, sometimes there is no argument. I mean, this whole thing going on with Hogwarts Legacy, where it's like, she never said anything hateful. So it's like, there's no argument. There's no argument. So it's like, there's no discussion. So when you have someone come to you, you're like, you're a bigot. You're a transphobe. I'm like, what? Because I said that you don't know anything about hate if you think what J.K. Rowling said was hate? Okay.
Well, I mean, in literally right here, like I'm on, like I just opened up a new tab. Literally the first one, Hogwarts Legacy, Shofar controversy reignites anti-Semitism accusations on social media.
What is anti-Semitic about?
They're saying that goblins are
I know,
have
it's so
always
stupid.
been an allegory for Jews because Jews have always been hated. No, they haven't always been. Creatures like goblins have existed in a great many number of folklores, including African ones, by the way. And most of them long before any of those cultures had ever encountered Jews.
If you see goblins as Jewish people, you're the fucked up one.
Mm-hmm.
If you see orcs as black people, you're the fucked up one.
On the other hand, if you see Corpus as Middle Eastern merchants, I fully support that.
I see him as fodder.
I don't know what that means because I've never heard anybody compare that, but
one person once told me, and I don't know if I entirely believe it, that the baggy pants, the Corpus wear knee-high baggy pants, at least the ones who aren't in their funky suits, and they're like that was meant to be some kind of play on the baggy pants worn by merchants in the Middle East. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I want the Corpus to be based on the Middle East.
Well,
I mean, actually, yeah, no, Shadow, that's not a bad analogy there either, because you got to keep in mind whether he intended to make that allegory or not. Coming from World War One and fighting the Kaisersmen, like he kind of Tolkien would have probably made that connection unconsciously between the orcs and the German troops.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of propaganda.
It's not calling out a specific ethnicity of people. Like, it's horribly disgusting to look at a group of people and be like, you know what? I think they're comparing you to orcs there, Larry. Like, what do you think about that? It's like,
well, actually, according to a school teacher at a high school near my home, she was nice enough to show the kids. You know, when you show up in the auditorium in the morning and you meet for Black History Month, she was nice enough to show all the kids slides of an orangutan eating a watermelon.
Oh,
unapologetically.
Oh, wow.
So
I mean, she even went with the ginger ape.
Yeah. So imagine my wife's horror when she saw me laughing when I read about it, because I was like, well, BITCH has it wrong, because during the Reconstruction, blacks were selling the watermelons to make themselves money and prosper, which they did. So associating us with watermelon actually is a compliment that was turned into a negativity. Just like Uncle Tom, who actually was a hero. And after several years of people, black people calling other black people who can speak and finish full sentences Uncle Tom, somewhere along the line within the last couple of years, somebody realized, hey, wait a minute, we're actually giving them a compliment. So we'll call them Sambos instead. But black people have traditionally, among the races, have been associated with gorillas, which are much bigger and much stronger. So I'll take the strength of a gorilla any day, because nobody will ever mess with me. So I was kind of laughing, because of course I already knew what was going to happen next to that lady. I was like, well, dummy, you just cost yourself a career and who knows what else.
Well, I've also seen fellow black people be like, call others that don't believe the way they should, be like, oh, it was just Uncle Ruckus. And it's like, are you really that shallow minded that you're downgrading a fellow human being in that fashion? Like, really?
Yes, they are. Just like the Black and Miles they smoke.
Well, I had someone who I worked with called another black guy Uncle Tom, and it turns out he was a Trump supporter, a Republican, and I actually really liked the guy.
Oh, well, the weirdo that blocked me, Mr. We'll just say AF on Twitter, who he actually compared Ripa to something that is basically what we were just talking about.
He won't say that to Ripa's face. That's
why. No, he did.
No.
Oh no, that was
reach of it.
No, that wasn't the one guy. That was man bun, freaking glasses and freaking girly looking hair.
Yeah, because somebody said that to his face. I know that. And then
it wasn't that guy, but that guy has from actual fandom has called Ripa that, on a live stream.
Why? Because Ripa actually made money selling a comic book that's actually good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Where the main character, the two prominent characters in it, one is a black man and the other one is a woman. And it's a good comic.
Yeah.
It's not that horse shit where Miles Morales became Thor and he was like by the power of Odin's beard or something. No, Odin's fade. By the power of Odin's fade. I was like, what in the. And yeah. I had friends who are actually black. They're like, you're like, are you surprised the big company is like trying to pander to a certain demographic of people? I said, no, I'm telling you, it's a disgusting group of people. And you guys make fun of me when I make fun of the comics and movies on YouTube. Like, that's the problem. Because I have one friend who I don't really think we're friends anymore. But like he called Candace Owens. I'm not a big fan of Candace Owens recently because she's shot her mouth up in a lot of bad ways. Yeah, he called her Auntie Ruckus, and I'm like, I mean, look, there is a humor to it because she causes a lot of chaos. At the same time, though, it's fucked up. Like, and yeah, he's like, he would always make jokes like, oh, well, you just don't like women. I was like, dude, I'm like, at one point it stops being a joke like 20 times ago, and now I just think you're being serious. Like, if you were just like clowning me, like, yeah, no, one of them calls himself actual fan of Yes Samuel.
Well,
It's
I
like,
was trying not to say it.
You typed it.
I was answering Carrie. I did say it on the stream because, and you know what, guys, it isn't so much about, not saying the name, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to say his name because I'm afraid of it. It's just because, why give these guys any more fucking clout than they can garner for themselves. Actual fandom, he's a douchebag, frankly.
He can have all the opinions he's won. He is entitled to that. When you start calling people names that are gross, like racist and bigot and homophobe and transphobe, and the other guy that he streams with, the bigger guy who can't seem to break 27,000 subscribers, no matter how hard he tries, he says that playing Hogwarts Legacy doesn't make you a transphobe, but being a transphobe makes you a transphobe. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, it was something that he said about Gary Nerdrotic, because Gary was playing Hogwarts Legacy, basically insinuating that Gary's a transphobe.
The thing is, at this point, I've reached the point you can call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care anymore. They're all compliments at that point. At this point, I've been called a bigot. I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to take it as a compliment at this point, because clearly, at this point, what's the point? As I said, for me, my biggest argument when things don't make sense, when you argue that, like I was arguing with the whole, oh yeah, you're going to have an outed lesbian in 1890. That makes no sense to me. That's illogical. On the other hand, if you're going to call me a bigot, what's the point of arguing? That makes absolutely no sense, but fine. You know what? You do you, boo-boo. I've been called everything. As I said, people think I'm a straight white man. I've been told one guy on Twitter, which it's impressive. These leftists claim to be so diverse and they have no idea what hijab means. Okay. They don't realize the only person who's going to be...
Does that really surprise anybody?
No, but it's like, okay, you'd think, okay, if you were so diverse and it's like, that someone who's called the hijabi gamer is obviously a woman. One guy was like, you come across as a conservative white man trying to pass as a woman. Dude, right.
Wait, so now you're kind of trans? Woo, gender fluid.
At this point, I am, like I said, at this point, I've given up. I don't know anymore. But they toss these words no longer have meaning. That's one of the things that I said about the whole thing with J.K. Rowling being hateful. You don't know hate. If this is hate, you're belittling people who've experienced real hate. It's the same thing with the word Nazi, where it's like you're calling people who just disagree with you Nazi. You're taking away the meaning of what Nazi is.
Oh, I ask people about that all the time. You don't know what that means, do you? I do. And it's like going, okay, go ahead and define it. I'm not gonna educate you. You can go look it up for yourself. And I'm like,
National Socialist Workers Union Party.
Yeah. And I'm like, so you don't know. And of course they usually just that's it. That's the end of the conversation. But yeah, it just
Shadow, it doesn't make sense in 1890.
It's just nonsensical. I think all of us grew up somewhere in the neighborhood of the 80s and 90s, and words meant things, like legitimately meant things. And I think we can probably say the 80s and the 90s were probably some of the best years in this country. I don't remember as much of this stuff on display. I don't know if it's in abundance because of social media. I am the youngest on the panel, or close to it or somewhere, so I don't remember this being as big of an issue.
Well, I saw a podcast. I couldn't find it again. I saw, I believe, a video from Podcast of the Lotus Eaters where they compared two surveys by Black Americans, and they said, where it was like one was from I think the 90s and one was from recently. One of them was saying, how much did racism affect you? And they're like, the majority said no problem at all in the 90s, and all of a sudden it doubled, like it flipped. So it's something like the vast majority said no and a tiny fraction said yes, and then it flipped, so it's the opposite in the 2020s. So you're saying racism has become more prevalent in the 2020s? I could not remember which video was from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, but it was like, I don't remember it either. I don't remember
And,
eating anybody. I don't remember it being an issue where it's like, yeah, that's my friend. Nobody was like, that's my black friend, bro. That's my
Yeah.
black No, it was, yeah.
Ben Shapiro covered it too. I remember that. That's back when I was still working and listening to podcasts daily. God, I sound like a bum on that note. Trust me, I'm not living off the government. I'm living off my own money. don't. I'm not a leech.
Meanwhile, Shadowhawk is in the chat identifying himself as white meat, and he's asking to be eaten with a Caesar salad. Just wait until Thanksgiving, buddy. Trust me, I got a full course centered around you planned.
That's not even remotely what he said, but okay.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah, I'm with him.
I like
after
white.
the comments about the corpus being food. Sorry, Ryan. Just
No, you're good.
After all those comments about corpus being food, I'm with Larry here.
I'll just say this: I'm equal opportunity. I like light meat. I like dark meat, and I like meat that has seasoning on it. Spicy, it's okay. I'm very equal opportunity.
We'll make sure it's Italian seasoning since he wants the Caesar.
Yeah, it's I'm open to all types of flavoring. I'll try that curry flavoring too.
Yep.
I'm single. I can say that, by the way. I don't have a wife, so I'm not a creep yet.
Yeah, I like that. It's like I'm not yet.
Well, I think maybe once I hit my 50s, and if I'm still not married, I might be a little bit of a creep, or the dating's that fucked up, one or the other. Which I think both can be true at the same time. Dating's rough. I don't even fuck with a dating app.
Did you hear about what happened to Michael Irvin?
No, what happened?
The Michael Irvin cat he's a retired football player with the NFL, so he's supposed to do live coverage of the Super Bowl tomorrow. And a few days ago, he was out with some friends, had a couple of drinks, went back to the hotel that they had put him in. He's with his friends. He walks in. One of the staff recognizes him. He turns around, talks to her for like 30 seconds, says hello and whatnot, shakes her hand, goes upstairs, goes to sleep, gets a knock at his hotel room door. It's the hotel staff kicking him out of the hotel. And then they contacted the NFL and said that he made some kind of advance toward her that made the girl feel uncomfortable, and the NFL kicked him off of tomorrow's coverage.
Are you kidding?
He is now suing the Marriott. Not only is he now suing the Marriott Hotel and that girl for $100 million, but a witness stepped forward and said that he saw the entire thing and said that all he said to her was hello and shook her hand and turned around and went upstairs to his room.
This is why we can't have nice things.
No, that's why I worry for. It's like when Shadow's like, yeah, you be careful dating.
Yep.
This is why we have. Yeah, no, I feel probably worse for Shadow because he is in the worst environment possible when it comes to college. That's why I think all of us have. I've told him specifically. It's like, dude, keep your head down, get your studies done, get the fuck out of there.
Get out. Yep.
Get out. Don't fuck around. Don't get drunk and do something. Don't fuck with some girl at a party. Do your schoolwork. Maybe once you're of age, have a couple beers, go home. Hey, buddy.
Howdy.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about the advice that we had given you because, just keep your head down and fucking keep your fucking head down, man. Because it's fucking
glad you're here, buddy. Because we're making some stew. And I'm thinking about adding a Shadowhawk for seasoning.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
Look, Larry, Mr. Squire, just like Samuel said, okay, there's no substance here. It's an incorporeal concept. You're not going to get much. Stop trying to cook me. It's not going to go well for you.
Samuel already has a tentacle up your bum, so we've already got the kebab ready. We just need to dip you in the batter.
I don't know why both of you keep dragging me into this.
I mean, didn't you recently express that Samuel isn't exactly packing? His tentacles aren't that long. So how can you
need much
kebabbing me?
He doesn't need much. He's got just.
Nah, I don't need much.
All right, that's fair.
Well, that was considerably less spicy than I thought it was going to be. But welcome to the show, Shadow. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm half distracted, half tired, so I'm not as bantery as I should be, probably.
Yeah, fair enough.
Though I know what Zillage is talking about, the one where they're pretending that that the women are harassing the guys. Yeah, those are hilarious.
Yeah, Ryan Young, I think is his name, did like a really good one. I really hope the woman who was like, "Hey, sir, you can't do that," was in on the joke. Because if she wasn't, I would have felt
She
so
definitely was in on the joke.
Well, if she
In fact,
wasn't, he's like doing like this really dangerous shit with like a piece of equipment. He's like doing like dumbbell curls while hanging off the side of something, and she's like, "Sir, you can't do that. That's a safety hazard." And he's like, "Stop staring at me. You're violating my privacy." And it's just like, I really, really, really hope that she knew, because just imagine like going to work and you have to put up with this shit.
Yeah. So, actually, was just bringing you in here to fight with Larry.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could.
But no, you're good. You're
Larry,
good.
I can keep fighting with Larry.
You're good. You stick around. I just we're
It
probably gonna
backfired
close out.
on you.
We're probably just going to close out the show here pretty soon. That's kind of
that's
why
fun.
I was just like, oh yeah, I'll bring them on. They can duke it out and I can cut us off. But we're sitting at about 3 hours and 10 minutes. So,
Yes,
and honestly, if I was being totally honest, without giving away too much information, I've had to drop a deuce for like the last hour or so.
You could have just went to the damn bathroom, man.
No. This was going to be like this is going to be a project that's going to take a while. So no, I just figured I'd just finish the stream.
I've never understood that. I've never had to fucking, unless I've had like, like I was been sick where you're just sitting there shitting your brains out. Never been in the bathroom that long. Usually like 5 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah, that lucky you.
I did. I had a friend all the time. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to the bathroom."
You know how hard it is to wipe your ass when both of your legs are so numb you can't feel them.
Yes, I do.
What?
You know what? That's what they call too much information. I don't even know.
Samuel, I think Kohai needs to make some memes of you with the dildos and not Ryan with that information. Like,
I was about to say,
I said wipe, not plug.
That's kind of gay. The fact that your legs are that numb.
You just said, do you know what it's like to try to wipe after your legs get numb? You didn't. You said wipe. You said wipe. You didn't say what you're wiping up, which means you could have gotten fucked in the ass for the last 2.5 hours and had to wipe the jizz out your butthole.
Well, I certainly hope not, because that boy would be glazed like a chocolate cake.
Well, no wonder your legs will be like rubber. I guess fudge packing will do
No. You know what? I take
guys. Samuel's not gay. He has relationships
Samuel
with
doesn't.
women.
No. Samuel is not. He's not gay. He makes love to women, has sex with men.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
It also means that your main tentacle looks like a Snickers bar right now.
Oh,
because it's up my own ass.
Did we go before we go? Did we go over the results of the poll about Mars colonization?
We did not.
It broke even on two fronts. If you want to go over it real fast,
it did. So no comes in at 14%. What comes in at 14%, and then meh and awesome both came in at 36%. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to end the poll here so that I can collect those results and display them on the description, because that's fucking wild, man.
Yeah, it broke even across the board, and I was one of the ones that voted awesome. I'm kind of surprised that some people are like 36% meh. Like,
send me to fucking Mars already.
Well, you would no offense, but you'd probably die. So I don't know if I would go.
I want to crawl across the dunes on my fingernails. I don't care what happens after that.
Good luck.
I just want off, right? I want off, right?
Soil, the radiation, the lack of oxygen, the cold. Like, Mars is a fucking death trap if you look at it.
It's better than this planet right now, where.
Good luck with that plan, John Carter.
John Carter of Mars.
I like how one of the military guys is like, "Good luck with that." It's so dry when he said it. He's like, "You fucking idiot."
I know I'm gonna die. Like that is a fucking
Shadow.
death
Much
sentence.
love to you, but that was so funny.
No, it's fine.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're getting pretty long in the tooth here. So we're probably gonna call it.
Yeah,
I
just,
would
send
say.
me send me the link, Ryan. I'll come on Friday.
Okay, yeah, we can get you on Friday.
Yeah.
I'd like to a heavily more leaning political talk, doing with like entertain and pop culture. I'd like to get Amira on too. Not because she knows about pop culture, but she can give like an insight to the political aspect of it. So yeah, I'd like to get you on and then eventually her.
Yeah, that'll save me from getting in trouble too.
Okay, well then you know what? Well, let's try to set it up for maybe 2 weeks from now. Give it a little bit of time. I know she's busy, so but yeah,
we'll run it by her as soon as we get the chance and see.
Oh
see what she wants to do.
wow, you need a fucking simp video of just.
Yeah.
We'll run it.
We'll run it by her. It's up to her, man.
You don't understand how it is, man. Like she called me free labor. She said I'll never be unemployed as long as she lives.
Yeah, like last night, I was saying somebody was just like, "Oh yeah, no, you guys are lucky to have like direct contact," and we're like, "No, she's a slave driver. She beats us when you're not looking." And he's like, "Well, no, I know you're joking." I was like, "Ha
No,
ha."
we're not joking.
You're like, well, you know what? We all like strong women.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, just as far as
women.
her guesting on your shows and all that stuff, that's kind of
Yeah, no,
I present her the option. That's up to her.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to push it or anything like that.
Plus,
I
she
mean,
likes Cat too. She's always asking how Cat's doing.
see, and I think that'd be great to have the girls, talking about something
In Arabic.
In Arabic.
Even if it's like for 5 minutes, like y'all go nuts. Just it would be. You two talking back and forth was like, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen this in forever. This is
You
awesome.
could have been talking about anything. You could have been talking about how much you both like cats and like, oh, it's a nice day out today, and it sounds like you're planning a bombing.
It could be.
How do you know we're not? Maybe we are.
Knowing you are.
No,
all that anger and fucking Hogwarts Legacy yelling at people.
No. Cats.
They won't let me kill anybody in the video game. It's not fair.
It's
There's so
for
many
kids.
people-
She wants to kill children in that game. She just
I want to kill
emptied a
everybody,
bunch of
Shadow.
killing spells directed at children in that game.
Hey,
I
hey,
was
Shadow,
genuinely
Shadow,
horrified.
Shadow, I want to kill everybody. I'm not limited to just children. I want to kill everybody.
Clip it. Someone clip that. You heard it. You heard it.
Hey, Cat, if it makes you feel any better, Fallout won't let you kill kids either.
I don't want. I don't
They
care.
won't.
I just
Got
want to
mods for that.
kill everybody. I didn't say children. I said
Rated
everybody.
K for everybody.
Everybody.
I've got look. No, the killing kids thing. I've got mods for that. Probably shouldn't admit to that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but you have to have mods for that. Technically, these other students in Hogwarts Legacy are kids because they're underage.
Yeah.
Whether they're
That's beside the point. I just want to kill everybody. Okay, they piss me off. All of them are really pissing me off right now.
What is your house? Aren't you a Ravenclaw?
Yeah, she's
Yes.
a Ravenclaw, yet she's talking like a Slytherin.
Slytherin.
what the-
No, you do not have to be. I could be using my cleverness and creativity and intelligence to find creative, intelligent ways to kill everyone.
You
You're
literally
a
just
Slytherin.
described Slytherin.
No, Slytherin isn't about killing. It's about ambition.
Yes, it did. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to
wait,
kill
wait,
to
whoa,
win.
whoa.
I
Hold
want
on,
to
Cat,
kill
Cat,
to
hold
be
on.
more creative and use
Cat.
my intellect.
Cat, I know a Slytherin when I see one. My wife is a Slytherin. I know how evil you guys are.
Hey, my buddy Sebastian.
Matt, hold on. I just forgot my wife is sitting behind me. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I was waiting for the offended.
I forgot my wife is sitting behind me. She heard that.
Yeah, no.
Over here casting spells on me.
Hey, Larry's wife.
I was waiting for that.
I can't believe I did. See what you did, Shadow. This is all your fault, Shadow.
It's
Oh,
all
this
Shadow.
is my
Okay,
fault.
he's-
You're the
he's
one
got
calling
his-
your wife a Slytherin.
Dude, Larry's
She
got
is
his
a
avatar
Slytherin.
on.
She
He's
just
got
didn't
his
like the
avatar.
evil part.
Hold up. You've got your avatar on, and I could still see your eyes widen when she said, hey.
You heard that?
Yeah, we all heard
Yeah.
Why do you think we all started dying?
They heard you. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because what Zalej said in the chat, you're in the doghouse
Why
now.
is the cat's, her damn cat's looking at me crazy too.
That's because they're loyal. What are you doing? Damn, man.
You know what, Shadow? I really am gonna cook you now.
Again, I'm a metaphysical concept, not a tangible bird, but go for it.
Well, a skillet will fix all of that. Trust me. A skillet
Now
will give you a corporal form.
Now that we've had Mrs. Knight, have a bit of a guest appearance on here, I think we should probly wrap it up.
I know you still have to take a shit or whatever the fuck you're doing. In
You
the
know what? I
bathroom.
will send you pictures, motherfucker.
Oh God, no, not at. Oh wait, never mind. I've seen dead bodies. Fuck you.
Yeah. I trust me. You ain't seen anything like what comes out of me. It's got legs.
It tries to
And
crawl.
you guys
up
are
the
coming at
toilet
me
bowl.
wanting to kill all the Hogwarts students?
Yes, we were,
Yeah.
Cat.
You know, like you guys have seen The Thing, the John Carpenter movie, The Thing, and when
Oh,
they're
I love that
torching that
movie.
one body and the head falls off and
Yes.
and it tries to get away and how it changes and everything. Yeah, that's like what comes out of my butt. But
Thanks
more
for telling
poopy.
us. Thanks for telling us.
Why do we need to know this, Samuel?
You don't really. I'm just hoping it'll haunt your dreams.
You just said poopy is an adult male.
I did.
Hey guys, it's poopy time.
So Shadow, what do you got coming up, brother?
Nothing really planned. I mean, Thursday nights with Cat, basically.
Monday night fucker. Monday night fucker. We're talking about Game
Oh
of
yeah,
Thrones.
Monday. Sorry.
Oh my God, Shadow! You know
That's
what? I
still
would not
fairly
give him the
recent.
invite.
I'm sorry,
this
I
week.
didn't. Monday nights on Legion Talk, you got the Game of Thrones streams. We're on what, episode 4, season 2 right now?
Yes, and
Yeah.
you might be on it. I'm just kidding.
Got a great cast of people. There's Ryan, there's Joker, there's myself. Is Tyler showing up on Monday as well?
He probably will. Don't forget
Yeah.
Lily 300 Mirrors, or I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was just about to.
Lily.
I was just about
Oh
to
my
mention.
God,
She's by far the
Shadow.
best looking of all of you.
I know. I can't get her on camera.
I was saving the best for last.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hey,
That,
what are you supposed to do
that
with
absolutely
bottle?
is what it was, Ryan. Stop insinuating things.
Go ahead, Shadow.
serious.
I don't want to fluff your.
I got to pause. What are you about to? I thought you were about to hit me with that bottle.
No, I'm going to drink from it.
Hit him with it! Hit him with
It's not
it!
muted.
You know we can hear you, right?
We can hear the whole conversation.
Domestic violence. A black man's not safe. Police. Oh wait, they might shoot him instead. Sorry.
Ryan, it's not your channel. You should have done that in the
I
painter voice.
I have to go because I have another live stream to be on in 30 minutes, and I think I've said too much.
Damn,
I'm
Shadowhawk.
I'm sorry.
All right, Larry, what you got coming up?
I'm praying for my life right now, so I gotta
I
go.
know.
Sorry, Larry. The police are en route. Duck and cover.
They're not gonna help. They're not gonna help me. I'm in the wrong state for that.
Fucking shit.
Ooh, Tulsi Gabbard was interviewed by my handsome news anchor.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
handsome, all right? I'm the only straight woman here. So when I
Becomes
say,
the
so there's no
stepping.
one who can argue with me about the handsomeness of Tucker Carlson.
You know
all
what,
right?
Kohai? If you are listening to this, I need a meme of Cat drooling over Tucker Carlson.
He's
Yes, let's see
handsome.
that. Let's see
Tucker
that.
Carlson is handsome.
We don't really have enough memes of Cat. We need this.
I want somebody, you know
Larry.
what we need a meme of? We need a meme
Yes.
of, and I posted it on Twitter, of that picture of Viso looking scared with Shadow behind him with a fork and knife going, do you
No,
taste
we
like
don't.
chicken?
No, we don't.
That's
Yeah.
don't need
And
that.
doing that tongue thing.
There are already too many memes of me.
No,
All right,
but we
all right,
need
all right.
that. Where it's like,
So Larry,
like
Yeah,
chicken
way off
Viso.
track here. Way off
Cat,
track
Samuel
here.
wants to leave. You got to calm down.
Larry, go ahead, man.
finish.
I got nothing.
All right.
All right. Well, we got that thing on Thursdays, but yeah. I don't, and then,
Yeah, you know what? Thursday I'm gonna So Thursday, because we have a certain member of our pride who does not know about the history of comics, I'm gonna add that to our program and cover a bit of it, just for the sake of those who may not be as well versed. I mean, we know the comics have gone through a lot right now, especially with all the woke changes and anime just utterly destroying it. I'm actually thinking about looking at some independent comics. I didn't even know Young Ripper had actually wrote a comic.
Oh yeah, dude, you check it out. It's Isom, #1.
Okay.
First of several to come.
Yeah, no, they're already working on #2.
I'd love to write a comic. I'd love to write a comic. I've got ideas, but I don't know how to draw. So,
well, Rippa doesn't. He tells the story. He writes it, but he doesn't draw it. He has an artist. So, and he's working with a prominent Marvel artist that was kind of
it was a Gabe El Taib, I think.
Yeah. He's got like 2 or 3 in his back. Working with him. But yeah, no. So no, definitely check it out, man. I think you'll like it. I'll send you the link on Twitter.
Okay.
Oh, and we got to remember to add him into the group chat too at some point.
Hey,
yeah, I can do it right fucking now.
I'm only reminding you because you said you would like 2 weeks ago. So.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe
Hey,
just
by the
maybe.
way, I do have one more thing. Apparently, Michelle is wisely advising us to be on our P's and Q's tonight so that we don't get any more trouble since the feline put us in timeout yesterday.
I don't know. She's got some shit she wants to talk about tonight. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think tonight's going to be an event.
Yeah. But all right. So Ryan, what do you got coming up, man?
On Monday night we have Game of Thrones season 2 episode number 4 live stream 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be with Joker Voice, Lily 300 Mirrors, Tyler the Redbeard, and maybe Shadowhawk because quite frankly, Baby Nuts isn't fucking grounded right now. So got a fucking kid, like the goddamn kids nowadays, no respect, just no fucking respect.
That's because you don't beat him with a stick.
I'll talk to Samuel about it and we'll fucking parent. Okay, it's a co-parent fucking situation. Jesus. And then of course we have.
I mean, I'm gonna lock him in the box with a bunch of starving rats, kind of guy. So
look, that's fine.
That's fine.
As long as he's not dead at the end of it, you know what? We can go forward. Okay.
Ryan.
What?
Joker Voice corrected you.
What did he? Yep, Ripper hired the Marvel and DC.
No, Mr. Grant Gregory.
Mr. Grant Gregory too. Don't forget him, Ryan. Mr. Grant Gregory.
Yeah, isn't he like coming on as well this Monday?
Oh yeah, I think.
Is he? Who told me that? Oh God,
you did. Didn't you say it?
Did I forget something? God damn. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Joker. I'm I don't think he doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I wouldn't be able to reach him. JV, reach out to him if you can.
Isn't he in the chat already?
Mr. Grant Gregory? No, I
thought he was in there.
No,
not the
he's been in the chat on my channel before, but not on this one. So anyway, Friday night's Royal Rumble is obviously on Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're on the tail end of Friday Night Tights. A lot of times we get shout out or a what's it called, a fucking hype train or whatever, and people spilling from there. So off to Kat, the senior officer of Velma.
Yeah, as I said, we really do like Velma in the Corpus. She makes excellent target practice. She runs, she squeals, we shoot. We clone her and shoot her some more. We also add the Rings of Power crew just for fun. This is the Corpus. Don't mess with the Corpus.
Oh.
Well, apparently
Anyway.
she also twerks over the dead body of Fred's mom.
Yeah, but then we shoot her because we've already shot Fred's mom.
Wait.
Again, we are the Corpus. Don't mess with us. You mess with our profits, we find you and take our profits back.
Too scared to ask.
What are you plugging right now?
Okay, so what am I plugging? Tomorrow I will probably be live streaming unless but I don't know if I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy or not because honestly I miss shooting stuff. And I haven't killed anything in the last couple of days. And I'm feeling this itch to shoot something. In the digital world, Susan, visual games, Susan, all right? I don't feel enough combat in Hogwarts Legacy. So yeah, I'm going to continue playing it, but maybe I'll take a day off tomorrow to play maybe Destiny 2, Destiny, Fallout 14, not Fallout, Final Fantasy 14, something with combat. Thursday I have Merry Madness with Shadowhawk here. If he behaves and he doesn't get thrown into a trunk with a bunch of live hungry rats, and somehow he survives that, we'll see. I mean, clearly there's some capital punishment coming his way, or he doesn't get eaten by Larry, so we'll see. Then Friday, or we don't use it for target practice in the corpus because he's threatened one of our own. Shadow, he threatened Viso. He's one of our
I
heroes.
might just not come back to these streams if you all want to kill. Like, Ryan wants to stuff me in a box. No, Samuel wants to stuff me in a box of rats. Kat wants to shoot me. Ryan wants to shoot me. Lawrence wants to eat me.
Yeah,
I might
but
just
you
not
have to
come back. I
understand,
might just start my own stream.
Shadow. We're the corpus. We shoot everybody who is in corpus.
I never said I wanted to shoot you. I just said that you needed to learn some respect and be beat a little bit.
Yeah, he did say that.
I think that's fair.
So that's Friday, and then back again to Saturday. I should probably try and come up with some more stuff during the week, but I have a job. And Thug McCoy wants to just whip you, Shadow. So at least he's probably going the easiest on you. So be nice to Thug McCoy.
No.
All right. Well, in my case, I am Samuel the Infamous. This is with Screaming into the Void. Hold on just a second. I got something going off in my ears.
Well, while he's fixing himself.
Nope, I got it. I got it.
It could be worse. You could be Shadow getting ready to get cooked. Wait,
all right, stop. So I'm Samuel the Infamous. This is my channel. This is Screaming into the Void. We do this every Saturday afternoon. Evening for some of you folks who are a little further east than I am. And there's also the Thursday show that I do with the man in the corner there, Lawrence Knight, who is apparently also in the doghouse, called Abyssal Musings. And occasionally we have a special guest in the form of a certain wayward lioness. And lately I've started game streaming again. Kat, I gotta apologize. I'm not really feeling Evil West. Like, I will probably finish it at some point, but right now it's just not doing it for me. So I started streaming something that finally came to PlayStation, Monster Hunter Rise, which I'm actually enjoying the shit out of. And I think you might too. It's got lots of bright colors, ridiculously cute pets, and is filled with the ashen taste of bitter defeat.
No, I want to kill stuff. Why do I want bright colors and happy pets? I want to shoot stuff.
You do understand that Monster Hunter's sole focus is you kill things, make things out of said things, only to kill bigger things, to make things out of those bigger things, only to kill more things, to make things out of that. It's a never-ending cycle of like ecological devastation.
Aren't there also cats that make good food?
Yeah, that too. All the chefs are cats.
Yes, but I still, as long as I need to.
It's really unsanitary.
What are you talking about? Cats are actually very sanitary. You can't catch anything from it. There's only one illness I think you can catch from cats. On the contrary, cats are considered very clean. Even in Islam, a religion that is very obsessive about cleanliness, cats are considered to be clean.
Cats are considered clean by people who like cats.
Wow, so we went to talking about a vampire hunter game to
the cleanliness of cats.
No, not even that. To cute pets. So yeah, this got fucking gay.
Yeah. You know what else is gay?
You? I'm not the one talking about cute pets there, boy. You better go wipe that dribble off your butthole.
America. That said, everybody. All right, so this has gone on long enough.
I'm trying to help you wrap up, by the way.
We're gonna get out of here. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you all. Remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining.
You could be drowning in spitting cobras.
He's got to step on that effort, gang.